Check, check, check. Hey, check. That it? Did that do it? Did it come in? Can you hear me? All right, there we go. Now we're talking. Okay, what I was saying was I don't have a scar on my forehead. I was playing insane orangutan or whatever this VR game. Hello, hi, how are you? Thank you. Welcome. Hi, Facebook. Hello. What's happening? Instagram peoples. Hit that like. By the way, we're live right now. Thank you, chat room. I'm all caught up. Audio is should be fine now. Should be all good. And we got a lot to cover. But I've been playing VR with my kid for the last hour and a half. And if I pass out or I fall over, that's why. I'm partially dizzy. I wouldn't say it's vertigo, because it's not quite. How you and Titus have great cameras. Oh, thank you. I love the show this morning. I'm so glad Christopher Titus could join us. It was great. And then, of course, he and Philip hit it off sort of in the behind the scenes, which is great. So, needless to say, it was a good morning overall. Hopefully, Philip can get on Titus's podcast and we'll keep people connected and all that kind of stuff. Now, by the way, hi, chat room. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. What's going on? All right. Hey. Yeah. And then, is this open and running? Where's this guy? Where are you? Oh, there it is. Good. Okay. I was worried that I got lost there for a minute. I'm going to be just fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now, a lot of show to cover today, largely because of Trump at Doral. We haven't covered a whole thing, so let's hunker down, strap in. I'm sure he's going to address the document dump from the Epstein files that is going to be dogging him the rest of the campaign. If I have anything to say about it, you think of me as sort of like a not moronic Jamie Comer who has actual evidence of criminality before he goes looking, right? I'm just saying that, because human trafficking and the like, and there's actually, been, again, for years, an awareness of this guy as a serial sexual assaulter, already ahead of, this in court, and he's already been found an adjudicated rapist in court. So there's, in all of these, the only thing that kept him out of jail over these charges is statute of limitations. So here we go. Also, George Clooney from one hunky Kentuckian to another. I don't know what it's like to be a Nepo baby. I don't know what it's like to be born into Hollywood royalty. I don't know. I had to scrap my ass all the way out to Hollywood via Chicago. And I'm here to tell you, maybe that's why I am better at being more resilient, I would say, to difficulties than somebody who, I don't know, whose, mother's legacy got him on a series, that kind of thing, like, which I absolutely had no chance of even hoping for, unless I guess I wanted to go into, play bluegrass for a living. That I would have had a definite in if I wanted to be a bluegrass musician. Yeah, I totally could have fucked my way to the middle of that. But obviously, Hollywood, different thing entirely. And it certainly helps to have a famous last name and a famous mom and all that stuff. Yeah. So anyways, from one Kentuckian to another, and obviously I don't know what it's like to be a Nepo baby. Obviously, the struggle is real. I say to you, fuck off. Also, I think, let's see. This is hilarious. Trump's populist platform? Okay, first of all, he's been a populist this entire time, but he's a liar. I don't give a fuck what the platform is. And also, in the platform, like lightening up the abortion language just for the convention is not populism. It's hiding your true intentions. But you know what? TYT's been in the business of trying to help Trump get elected and then reelected since he's been around. So this should be no surprise to anybody. But first, let's dive into Donald Trump going, and here's the thing, nothing says populism like doing rallies in states that you're alleged to be a shoo-in for, and that's less than a 45-minute drive from your house. That would be that really shows that you've got reach. Why would you go to states that do appearances in rallies in places where you might need to flip a state or grow an audience, or he only goes places where people are lining up to kiss his ass.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, Doral. Hello, Miami, and hello, Florida.
In that order.
Thank you. There is nowhere else I'd rather be on this.
Seriously, is this shit just frozen? Yeah. Great quality there, Fox News.
Beautiful, cold, very cold summer evening. And right
I think that's sarcasm.
here in the middle of the 10th hole, beautiful hole, isn't it? Look at that lake, isn't it beautiful? On one of the great...
Oh, right. The other aspect of this that I don't think anybody's pointing out, also, it's a little blurry for the nut warning, but if it comes up, I will let you know. Because right now he looks like a sludgy, melted 8-bit version of himself. But the reason he's doing it at Doral is because he doesn't need to, he can't get another venue where, because he doesn't pay his bills and he doesn't pay for security, and then they trash the place and all that. He owns this place, sort of. I mean, Russians own it via Deutsche Bank, but still, like, he can do it at his own facilities because he has to.
Golf courses on Earth, and we really want to thank all of the tens of thousands of people that showed up. This is a lot of people.
No. But I don't know what the ever-loving fuck. There's not tens of thousands of people at Doral on the 10th hole.
This is a lot of people. As the world can see, we are under the leadership. The Republican Party is bigger, stronger, more vibrant, and more united than ever before.
Yeah, I think that number of evers means ever. Yeah, that's it. It makes it a negative. Yeah, he didn't believe that at all.
Every day we are welcoming more Americans to our ranks, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, young people, old people, union members, non-union members.
Mostly non-union members.
Basically, everyone is joining our movement because it's a movement of common sense. Common sense.
Yeah, nothing says common sense like an outdoor rally in 100-degree heat when in a state that full of so many old people, it's called God's waiting room, where the vast majority of your audience looks like that lady over there. Yeah, I mean, that is common sense. You got a bunch of old people. The heat's going to kill them. You bring them outside, make them sit for hours, and then you blather because you're getting right back into a air-conditioned vehicle and being driven away while they have to walk, a quarter mile to their car or whatever.
Whatever happened to common sense in government? We've got it. We've got more than anybody's ever had.
We've got uncommon numbers of common sense.
Meanwhile, the radical left Democrat Party is divided in chaos and having a full-scale breakdown, all because they can't decide which of their candidates is more unfit to be president. Sleepy, crooked Joe Biden or laughing Kamala? Laughing Kamala.
He's workshopping laughing Kamala. And again, I guess this is in the crying Kinzinger zone of things. I just don't feel like it's going to land. And also, I don't know that laughing itself, unless you're pointing that you're going to make this idea that she's insane. Is that where they're going? That she's cackling like a crazy person? Which, by the way, it would be cackling Kamala. I don't want to give them any help. But if you have any fucking brains at all, and that's what you're selling, you wouldn't do laughing Kamala because obviously you're a human punchline.
As you know, in our recent debate, And in honor of all of you, I dealt Joe Biden, even according to the fake news media, the most decisive and overwhelming defeat in the history of presidential debates. I think so, right?
No. Nobody says you did good. Everybody says Biden did badly. Nobody. I'm dead serious. Like, let's not equivocate about any of this. No one claims he did well. He was a lying, blathering mess. No one. And he did so poorly. Trump did so poorly that there has been no noticeable shift since the debate his direction. He should have ran away with it. If there was a decisive blow, the only people who apparently think that are fucking George Clooney and 10 also-rans in the Democratic Party.
And that was a big crowd that was watching. That was one of the highest rated shows ever on television. So I'm
No, it was not.
honored to be a part of it. I don't think he's too happy, but I like being a part of it. But even CNN said as I walked off the stage that it was one of the greatest performances they've ever seen. But
No, they did not. They literally, that's why it was news that Biden did so poorly. You didn't even get a chance to win. Oh, and I did not forget Michael Moore. Fuck Michael Moore too. Good Lord.
Easy, if you want to know the truth. Our victory
Right, you didn't even try. It's sort of easy. All I had to do was lie 30 times, and nobody called me on it.
was so absolute that Joe's own party now wants him to throw in the towel and surrender the presidency after a single 90-minute performance. They want Crooked Joe out of the race. It's a shame the way they're treating him. But don't feel sorry for him. He's a very bad guy. He weaponized government. Remember that. He's a very bad guy. Don't feel sorry for him.
He said this to, I believe, Sean Hannity as well. And Brian Kilmeade, he called into Brian Kilmeade's show. And this is the other thing that he's workshopping is that Biden, don't feel sorry for Biden because he's a bad human being. And the reason he's doing this is because people are giving Biden the benefit of the doubt in mass. They're feeling sympathy towards him. And that's fucking things up for him, for Trump.
Tonight I'm officially offering Joe the chance to redeem himself in front of the entire world. So Marco and Byron and everybody, here's what we're going to do. You guys can be referees if you like. Let's do another debate this week so that Sleepy Joe Biden can prove to everyone all over the world that he has what it takes to be president. But this time it will be man-to-man, no moderators, no holds barred. Just name the place, anytime, anywhere.
Also, it's not a debate if it's no moderators. That's what makes a debate. Otherwise, it's just two men arguing. And why the fuck would the president of the United States, even though you're a former president, give you that platform to just blather? No holds barred. There's no reason for it. There are no holds barred right now. You can talk, he can talk, everybody can post shit, he can post shit, his campaign can post shit, your campaign can post shit. It already is no holds barred, including one of the holds, I guess, being the environment that you're both in.
And in the debate, Sleepy Joe also declared that he wanted to test his skills and stamina against mine on the golf course. Can you believe this?
Yes, I can. Hey, count your blessings. At least he didn't challenge you to a parallel parking competition.
Did you ever see him swing? That's why this evening I am all.
Yeah, bam, nailed it. I mean, I'm rethinking my vote right now.
So, and this is in honor of you and everybody here. There's 45,000 people. That's a lot of people. I'm also officially challenging Crooked Joe to an 18-hole golf match right here
on my own property where my Secret Service and his Secret Service would have to be, and that one event alone could get Doral out of its economic funk. Gee, why don't you pick a public course in a swing state, and the proceeds go to golf education? It almost sounds like you're not making enough money from your Saudi deal, and you need to pick it up. Yeah.
Doral's Blue Monster, considered one of the greatest tournament golf courses anywhere in the world, one of the great courses of the world.
Yeah, because there's so many golf courses. Notice nobody says that about football fields or baseball diamonds. You know why? Because they're all basically the same shape, and there's lots of them. Golf is a waste of real estate.
It will be among
You think Real America's voice has a better... This seems to be coming in clearer, so hopefully we'll see.
the most watched sporting events in history, may be bigger than the Ryder Cup or even the Masters. And I will even give Joe Biden 10 strokes aside. 10 strokes, that's a lot.
Wait. Excuse me. You want to give him some strokes?
I had a beat off.
That's a lot of strokes.
I had a beat off.
Right, I know, but if you're going to give him those strokes, it's...
I had a beat off.
Okay.
Here I am like an idiot.
Yeah. So, here we go.
That means 20 strokes in case you don't play golf.
Yeah, I don't play golf. I don't care.
I will give him 10 strokes aside, and if he wins, I will give the charity of his choice, any charity that he wants, $1 million.
Great. Planned Parenthood. What's the problem? How about this? How about Biden puts it up, and no matter who wins, both of you give $1 million to either's charity, because that way you're not making money on the deal, and all the proceeds go to a charity. You each get a charity, you split the proceeds 50-50. Neither one of you takes any money home. The space itself has to be donated because it's a public race, the race for the presidency. And he'll, I guess, I don't know, he'll... the money you give will have to go to Planned Parenthood, and the money he gives will have to go to, I don't know what, your lawyers, I guess. That's the only charity you seem to think about.
And I'll bet you he doesn't take the offer. I would bet he...
Yeah, he's kind of busy being president right now. You'll notice one of the digs that I think kind of went unnoticed during the debate was when Biden said he got his swing down, he got his handicap down to like 8 or whatever number was during his vice presidency. The idea being that during the vice presidency, you have a lot of free time.
Because he's all talk. But what that match...
Well, he's all talk except for, I think, infrastructure week, I think, and healthcare, and getting everyone vaccinated, and reopening the economy, and challenging China. Yeah, Biden said 6, but he said 8 in one of the other numbers when they were talking about, yeah.
That Joe is, in fact, all talk and no action. But on many things, not just golf. When pilots walk into the White House, he says he used to fly planes. He didn't. When truck...
Also, no. This is a made-up story, too.
Come in, he says he used to drive a truck. He didn't. When Jewish people are here, he always attended synagogues, he said. The Jewish people, he didn't attend the synagogue. Did he ever see a synagogue? He doesn't know what a synagogue is.
I'm fairly certain he knows what a synagogue is. Here's this. You know what that means. You know what this means. You know, ladies and gentlemen, people of the chat room, you know what this means. Donald Trump doesn't know what a synagogue is. If somebody came up to him and said, it's like church for Jews, he'd go, a synagogue. He probably doesn't know that it's But a lot of people don't know this. It's a church for Jews. I guarantee it. He has no fucking idea. The word has puzzled him. Like you can tell by the way he's saying it that he has no idea what the word synagogue means. Just saying. Just for the record. Yeah.
When black people come, he spent his Sundays in black churches. All of it's false.
You want about 150 pictures of him in black churches with black congregations and black pastors and black choirs and everybody in the place, but for 3 people that were that probably arrived with him are black? He has been for a long fucking time.
All of it's fake. He's a fake. Unfortunately, he was like that in Afghanistan. He was like that with Russia, Ukraine.
I'm sorry, in Afghanistan? I don't know if you know this, maybe the news didn't get to you. We're not in Afghanistan anymore. We aren't. We're no longer, we haven't been in Afghanistan for a couple of years now. We're out.
And he was like that on October 7th and the attack in Israel. He didn't know what he was doing.
I'm sorry, was he part of the attack? What was he not doing? What would you have done? Bombed Gaza? I mean, he would have. Let's be abundantly clear. On October 7th, with the hostages in Gaza, Donald Trump would have launched a strike on Gaza or told Netanyahu to do it or we will.
But whatever else can be said about crooked Joe Biden, you have to give him credit for one brilliant decision, probably the smartest decision he's ever made. He picked Kamala Harris as his vice president.
As a vice president. I haven't heard. I mean, this is obviously, from last night or, earlier today or whenever it was. Yeah, yesterday. He didn't announce who he's going to pick, and I don't think he really knows yet. He said he knew in May, he doesn't know now, but yeah.
No, it was brilliant. Because it was an insurance policy, maybe the best insurance policy I've ever seen, Marco. If Joe had picked someone even halfway competent, they would have bounced him from office years ago, but they can't because she's got to be their second choice. She has no choice and no chance.
No choice, no chance. She's, I don't know. Right, Marco? You might be the person that's so bad that nothing will happen to me, no matter how stupid I become. Maggots will never let you be president.
As vice president, Kamala Harris was given 2 jobs. 2 very important jobs, actually. First, she was put in charge of the U.S. border security and the border. And she never showed up. She's never gone.
And yet it's improved. It's funny. You went down there a bunch and it just got worse. Weird.
She never went there once. And the border's the worst border in the history of the world. Not just in the number of years, the worst. We have the best border in history.
In the number of years.
She is the worst border in the history of the world. And then she was sent to...
Yeah, not even close. I mean, there's hyperbole and then there's just fucking stupid bullshit.
Europe to deter Russia from attacking Ukraine. How did that work out? Not too good. Both times the result was a...
Also, what? Seriously, what the fuck are they talking about? She went to deter Russia from striking Ukraine. Is there a specific thing he's referring to in the 10 days that led up to it? Anybody? Does anybody know what he's referring to? Because I haven't been able to figure out what the fuck that is. But he's decided. I mean, ultimately, ultimately, like, maybe it's just because the border is only one thing and it's improving no matter what. So he feels like he needs to add onto it, like he triples numbers all the time.
Deadly failure. Since Kamala was made, borders are... The Biden-Harris administration has lost track of an estimated 150,000 children, many of whom have undoubtedly been raped, trafficked, killed, or horribly abused. Think of it, 100
Yeah, no. Just a fucking made up number.
and 50,000 children are missing.
No, they are not.
Missing. They're gone. Nobody knows where they are. Many are
Many of them never even existed in the first place.
not with us any longer. She's one.
Right. There is a thing where some kids, and DACA kids have become this way. There's a point where a child disappears when they become an adult.
100% for the Green New Scam supports banning the sale of gas-powered cars. Who wants to drive an electric car for the rest of your life?
Me? Most of us? What are you talking? Who wants to keep driving to a gas station for the rest of your life? Who wants, I'm serious. Like, who ever wants to go to a gas station again if you don't have to? Right? Can you imagine a day when, I kind of like the whiff of gas from a distance. I think we all have learned to like it because it's an attention-getting smell. It's not natural to the gas. Obviously, gas itself has no scent, and that's part of its problem. So we add that to make sure it's there, and it's not pleasant, but it's not unpleasant. But the idea that all of us want to pump gas the rest of our lives. Yeah, by the way, you're right. Trump drives an electric car. The only vehicle he can drive is electric. He has electric golf carts at all of his facilities. He drives an EV. He is incapable of driving a combustion engine car, period. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is an original owner of a 66 Corvette, whatever that year is, 65.
You don't want to drive for 45 minutes and then stop for 3 hours. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's not how they work. By the way, can I just say that apparently at the RNC, Amber Rose is going to be speaking, and I don't know, giving Nestor Gates a lap dance while she reads off the anti-choice parts of the RNC platform. But she's in a rap video with the rapper, like the guy who calls himself Trump's illegitimate son or whatever. That dude's driving a Tesla truck. He's driving the Cybertruck.
And wants the American energy industry totally shut down, starting with Pennsylvania fracking and Texas drilling. No drilling in Texas, no fracking in Pennsylvania. We just got
again, yeah, they're just made up. This is old shit, by the way, that didn't work in 2020. Remember you got a frack business, yeah.
A poll from Pennsylvania with 12 points up. That's a lot. Got a poll from Texas with 16 points up.
In Texas, good for you.
And we have some great people from Texas
Hold
here
on.
tonight. And as a senator, Kamala sided with socialist Bernie Sanders. He's a real socialist. He's serious. But not as bad as Biden turned out to be. Bernie's embarrassed by some of the things that Biden did because they push him around. It's the old...
Wait, what? Sorry. The premise of that is that Bernie Sanders is embarrassed by Biden because he's gone too far left. Yeah.
far left government takeover of the entire healthcare system. And I don't think Kamala Harris's California socialism is going to go down well with the people of Doral.
Oh, California. Yeah, I know that state. That's the sixth largest economy on earth.
The people of Miami or the people of Florida. Because in Florida, we don't like socialism. We want our freedom, right? We want our freedom.
Yeah, freedom to read whatever book you want, freedom to be out and gay, get married, freedom to be trans openly without fear of persecution or job loss, free as a woman to report a sexual assault and have it be taken seriously as any other criminal allegation. You mean that kind of stuff?
And we have a lot of people, Marco, from Cuba, from Venezuela, from all over, and they don't want to hear about socialism or communism.
I mean, then why do they talk about it so much?
Despite all the Democrat panic this week, the truth is it doesn't matter who they nominate because we are going to beat any one of them in thundering landslides. And this November is going to be amazing. It's going to be the most important election in the history of...
Dude, if that was the case, your rallies would not be 2,000, 3,000 people in obvious fluff districts in the middle of Pennsylvania and big gatherings in states that Republicans always win.
Our country, because our country's going down the tubes. That's a nice way of saying our country's not doing too well.
I'm sorry, is that a bad way of saying our country's not doing too well?
We've never had anything like it.
Well, obviously, we've never had bad times with 4% unemployment and wages outpacing inflation, even when inflation's at a multi-decade high. Yeah, it's pretty curious. We've never had it. We've never had bad so good.
Our economy, the worst inflation ever. We have the politics on our side. We have the policies on our side that will make America great again, and they don't. They will only continue to destroy our nation. Our nation is being destroyed.
Is it being destroyed, though? It sure has taken him a long time. I mean, Biden's been in office for almost 4 years. And I gotta say, you'd think he'd be done destroying the country. What is taking so long?
Joe, Kamala, and the entire Democrat establishment have been caught red-handed in the thick of the biggest scandal and the biggest cover-up. It's a cover-up. That's what it is. And I said it when they hit this guy in the basement and then they cheated on the election. It's a cover-up.
Is it?
It's the biggest cover-up in political history.
Oh, yes. It's not the crime, it's the cover-up. And Trump's been spending the entire week trying to figure out how to cover up all the Epstein information that's been coming up. So he's got cover-up on the brain.
As you know, they are all co-conspirators in the sinister plot to defraud the American public.
Okay, first of all, does this motherfucker own a single golf course that isn't in the path of an airport?
All co-conspirators in the sinister plot to defraud the American public about the cognitive abilities of the man in the Oval Office. Sometimes he's not there often.
Yeah, sometimes he's in Europe holding NATO together and the G7 and
Laughin' Kamala, Laffin apostrophe.
That's what you're coming up with? Again, I'm not going to say it's my version's better. This is just lame. Apostrophe.
Laughin' Kamala was in on it. Crazy Nancy Pelosi, who, by the way, is also very cognitively impaired. Have you watched her lately? She's not doing too well. She's not doing too well. I think she's worse than Joe. You want to know that?
And nothing you say is the truth, but based on what? Based on the fact that, well, I guess maybe it was the idea that you think her daughter said you guys would have ended up together as a couple if things had been different, and obviously she would have to be cognitively impaired for that to even be a possibility, I think.
She was in on it, crying Chuck Schumer. You ever see him cry? He cries when the phoniest crying I've ever seen.
Well, then he's not crying. Right? That's pretending to cry isn't crying. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying maybe you need to workshop these. They need work.
Crying Chuck Schumer was in on it. Every Democrat cabinet member was in on it.
All the voters were in on it. The ones that trounced you at the election were in on it. People in your own cabinet were in on it. 40 members of your former cabinet and your vice president, they're all in on it.
This guy was grossly incompetent, and every Democrat in the House.
He's grossly incompetent, and Democrats still manage to have wage growth and job rates this good. Dude, I'll take a fuck up like that any day. It's just common sense.
The Senate was in on it. It was a scam. The American people can never trust this group of liars ever again. They put our country at great risk and danger. That's why we are going to sweep them all out of office this November. I believe it'll be an election like no other.
I agree. It'll be. There have been other elections where we could have gotten rid of you forever, and we, for whatever reason, didn't, or it didn't happen. This one we will. You done.
But the biggest problem for the radical left Democrats is that their candidates are very much, if you take a look, mentally deficient. Is that a nice statement? They are mentally deficient. I'm saying that because the other term is too tough. The biggest problem is
No, it's not because it's rude or gross. It's because it's too tough.
that their policies are no good. Their policies are horrible. Americans want strong
It's no good and they're horrible. Well, easy there, Brainiac.
borders, not open borders. We want low taxes, not high taxes. You know, they want to increase your taxes 4 times by 4 times. We want a strong
No, they don't. Also, here comes another plane.
military, not a woke military. Yeah, we don't have a woke.
Honest to God. Okay, so is that the business model for all of Trump's golf courses? Seriously. Is that the business model? He just buys shitty golf courses that are in the path of airplanes because everybody's like, how can you fucking play golf with this shit going on all the time? Mar-a-Lago, whenever he stands outside at Mar-a-Lago, it's just fucking planes going overhead. Good Lord.
We have some woke generals at top, but they'll be gone so fast your head will spin. But we have a great military. We have a military that defeated ISIS in 4 weeks once I got in. We want
Yeah, it's so much easier to conduct a military campaign if the commander-in-chief doesn't give a shit about civilian deaths. Boy, you think the Israeli-Gaza fight would be going on this long if Donald Trump and Netanyahu were in charge together? You think they'd be doing roof knocks and sending leaflets and shit like that? You think Donald Trump would withhold 200-pound bombs because they have no value or use in an urban fighting environment?
no inflation, not 30 or 50% inflation, which is what you had. Think of it. You were destroyed. People were destroyed with the inflation.
They were? And they're still here? How did your people show up? How did they get where they are? I mean, shouldn't all these people be slaving away working? I mean, Joe Biden is president right now. We're in hell. How can they take off time from work to go to this thing and still make rent?
I don't even order bacon anymore. You know, bacon's gone up like 5. I said, it's too expensive. I don't want it. I don't want it.
By the way, he's lost more money than the average American during this time. As a matter of fact, more than dozens of them put together. And first of all, I don't know that he ever has eaten bacon. I think he just pretends. Maybe they don't serve it at Mar-a-Lago anymore because he's selling that point. I don't know what the fuck.
No, it's gone up many times, right?
And then come back down.
Byron likes bacon. Bacon. I think maybe. How many stand up, Byron? Byron. How good is Byron?
How good is bacon?
They say it's gone up 4 times since.
Do they?
4 times. So we don't eat bacon anymore, right? No more. We want American energy independence.
Why not? I thought you were a billionaire.
It's not all electric cars and the Green New Scam. It's the greatest scam. Above all, we want America first.
By the way, he already said that the Biden election was the greatest scam. So we're on our 3rd greatest scam, this speech alone. That and I guess bacon's a scam as well.
America last.
By the way, I have bacon in my fridge and I just made a bunch of it yesterday. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
America last. What they're doing to our country is not even believable. That's why.
Right. Well, no. It's what you're saying they're doing to the country is not believable. That's the difference.
Florida is going to defeat the radical left Democrat hoaxers and liars on the election day. We are going to tell crooked Joe Biden.
And the election day?
Liars on the election day. We are doing to our country is not even believable. That's why Florida is going to defeat the radical left Democrat hoaxers and liars on the election day. We are going to tell crooked Joe Biden.
Oh, this is where he's like gonna fuck up his you're fired line.
Joe, you did a horrible job. You're fired. Get out, Joe. You're fired.
Yeah, again, this is his. Fuck me. All right. If your catchphrase is "you're fired," build up to it, say it, and shut the fuck up. Am I losing my mind? Isn't it right? Also, that's what the country said to you last time. Just saying. And they've got the "you're fired" signs, which is why they're trying to hit that or whatever. Also, The Apprentice was a dumb show. It was a game show. It was a game show for people who wanted to debase themselves in front of a rapist. Got a great opportunity. You can come on the show, either as as a civvy or as a celebrity, and you can act like Donald Trump has something to teach you. He's that rapey dude, you know, the friend of Jeffrey Epstein's wingman. All right, there's a jumble of different chants all crashing into each other.
You know, it's only 103 degrees out here.
Hey, you dumb motherfucker. It's Florida. It's July. It's your property. So why didn't you have it indoors? Why not? Why didn't you have it indoors? Why didn't you have people in air conditioning? Why wouldn't you take care of your people? It's common sense.
You know, they built all these, they call them, sir, we have many water spots. I said, what about one for me? Do I have one? I don't have one.
Hold on. They called them water spots? That's what they call them. That's what they're called. They're called, ladies and gentlemen of the press, call off the dogs. We found something that I need you to chase down. What the fuck is a water spot? They installed a bunch of water spots, did they? What? Just a spot of water.
Marco, they gave water spots. Everybody has a water spot.
Do they?
Well, water comes out,
You mean a spout? A spot? A spout? Water spouts? What?
Don't have anything for me. I'm being drenched up here.
Why would they need it? If you're being drenched, then you're your own water spot. Jesus, hold on one second. Let's see. Speech. Real quick, just checking something. Let's see. Trying to fellas. Not trying to day rally. Picture of flags. Yeah, Mark. Oh, by the way, you want to know how we know Marco Rubio isn't going to be the guy? Look at his face. I mean, that's the face you would have if you had said what you said about Donald Trump, and now you're begging to be his number two. But in this article, that's another little bandstand full of people that they have. Doesn't show the crowd. Here's a bunch of flags. Flags don't vote. Yeah, I don't see a big volume. Does anybody have any idea what the actual number was? Let's see. Let's see. Trump, I guess crowd size. Doral. Apparent Trump towers of crowds. Overcrowds? Is it okay? Okay, here's a photo gallery. This is Miami Herald photo gallery of it. There's a bunch of straight-on shots. Let's see what the turnout was. There you go. No. Okay. Yeah, there's no... It looks like the same kind of derivative bullshit shots we see all the time. This is straight on with him with the people behind. Then you got him walking out, doing his fucking nut walk where he's double jerking off somebody. There's somebody who, I guess, passed out from the... Trump van naps in the shade before the start of the rally. A lady with her bosoms out with the Let's Go Brandon thing. Some asshole in a giant Trump wig... I don't know, trying to score with her. I guess that's these two obviously hit it off. A front row Josephine. There's somebody in a let's see, former president late appearance on Trump rally. Doral. Felon 47. I guess they're supporting him, so that's it. You're voting for. I'm voting for MAGA. I'm voting for the felon. That would be that. Here's a bunch of people sweating. There's people handing out water. Here's a couple people. Big empty grass. There's a line. This is a crowd shot. Here's a tight crowd shot. Here's a tight crowd shot. There's another tight crowd shot. This is across people. As cross people to bandstand. It's not saying. Yeah, can't tell. Probably about 3,000 people. Looks like the same pictures I saw in Vegas.
With your vote, I will begin saving our country from every Biden disaster starting the moment I lift my hand from the Bible after taking the oath of office. We're going to do it on day one.
After your hand stops smoking, you mean? Yeah, there's less than 4,000 people there. That's why I said 40,000. So if there's 4,000, he's going to say 40.
Day one, we're going to do it. I will seal the border, stop the invasion. We have an invasion coming through our southern border. And by the way, you know who wants that? You know who wants that invasion stopped the most? Hispanic people, because they don't want their jobs taken.
Yes, by other Spanish-speaking people. Is that how it works? Or are you just trying to fix the black jobs thing from the last round?
They don't want their homes taken. And you know who it affects the most is black people, because these people are coming in and taking jobs at a level that nobody's ever seen before. What they've done to our country is unbelievable.
And no, they aren't. We still have 1 million unfilled jobs. I mean, they hire foreign workers at Mar-a-Lago and Doral.
But we want to send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong. Remember, as I said, they come from prison.
How I'm not seeing mods, they aren't being seen in chat. That's weird. Okay. I see you in there. You mean on YouTube or where? Andrea?
They come from jails. All these countries are at record low numbers of crime. They're sending
Yeah, also this is bullshit.
us their criminals from Caracas and Venezuela. Caracas, Venezuela.
Caracas or Venezuela? Venezuela. You on YouTube. Okay, gotcha. I will see what I can do. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can remedy that. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go here, and we'll grab another thing. See if we got YouTube issues with the mods. Should be in there. I mean, I see everybody. Do they not see themselves? That's the thing, I guess. Go back to YouTube Studio, and then I'll figure out my moderators.
Next year we'll meet in Venezuela because it will be safe.
Oh, and by the way, he shouldn't be bringing up Venezuela because he literally, the last thing he did was put a moratorium on deportations of Venezuelans. Also, hit the like, subscribe if you would. Let's see the titles, comments, analytics, content, dashboard. I think it's the dashboard part. Yeah.
Their crime has gone down 72% because they've said to all of
Again, this is just bullshit. It's just a lie.
their drug dealers,
It's just a boring lie.
their criminals, and most of their prisoners into our country.
Yeah, to work at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. I mean, they basically, I don't know if you know this, but Trump put an ad in the Prison Weekly in Caracas, and they just sent people up. And it's like the job openings. They had to fill Walt Nada's job, and there's a bunch of people that quit when Trump wanted them to flood the server room at Mar-a-Lago to try and erase all the hard drives in there, and then it didn't work. So those people fled. So he's got to fill the job, So they're looking to replace them with other Venezuelans.
But that's true with most countries, and if I were running one of the countries throughout the world, not just in South America, I would be doing exactly the same thing. I would.
Well, right, but that's why you think it's happening, because you're a scumbag. That's exactly why.
Done it faster than they've done it. But our country is being destroyed. 2 weeks ago, it was.
Yeah, it's not done being destroyed yet. I mean, there's still a lot of destroying left to do. So don't feel bad if you're a Biden supporter. He's going to have a full schedule destroying the country with great jobs numbers. Apparently, that's how you destroy it.
Revealed that Biden and Harris have allowed more than 50 radical Islamic terrorists, some of the worst in the world, by the way, to cross our border and remain at large in our country, and we have no idea where they are. They have no idea also where these terrorists are, but Joe and Kamala are simply carrying on with business as usual, holding fundraisers, taking afternoon naps. And as Joe says, I want to go to the beach today. The guy thinks he looks good in a bathing suit. Did you ever see? Somebody in his staff told him, you look great in a bathing suit.
Also, that's apparently that digs at Trump. For the record, I'm fixing something, Andre. I'm going to try and remedy this while the show's going on. But let's see, view this on here. It's going to pump. I'm fixing something, Andre. I'm going to try and there's doubling down. Okay, and new manager goes support your channel. Sorry, new managing monitors can support your channel anymore. Choosing manager on users standard monitor by an addition they can manage blind words. Chat around to learn more. That's really good. Let's see. Time moderators. There we go. Open the YouTube. Start the chat. Free of live by pressing the plus. The live start live chat. Start next to this thing. Open the thing. Okay, good. All right, I'm working on it. Andrea will find you in here. I'm scrolling through. Give me 1 second. There she is. Yeah, it says you're a moderator in there. I see you. Yeah. Remedy this while we're. Oh, go away! I got another show to do.
Can't lift the chair. You know those chairs are meant for children and old people to lift. Old people and children, and you can't lift them. They weigh about 4 ounces. When I'm president, I
Also, what the fuck?
promise you this: I will not rest until we have found these radical Islamic terrorists and throw them the hell out of our country. We're going to get them out of here, and we will not let them back in. So many people, very few were thrown out, but the ones that came back in during this Biden administration of open borders. Who the hell wants open borders? How crazy is it? Under the Biden border disaster, other countries are emptying out their prisons and their jails. They're emptying out their mental institutions. And I go a step further. You know what an insane asylum is, right? Did anyone ever see the lovely movie Silence of the Lambs? Did you see it? Did you ever
Lambs plural.
hear of Hannibal Lecter? He was a lovely man. He would love to have you for dinner. He will take you. He had many people for dinner. Well, we have a lot of people coming in. They always say, oh, that's terrible, the Trump would say. He is rambling about Hannibal Lecter. No, I'm not rambling. That's we are allowing people from insane asylums and mental institutions into our country.
Yeah, how did they get here?
By the tens
Oh, there's an echo? Why is that? That's weird.
of thousands. And they're closing them down in other countries.
That's so odd. Hold on. Sorry. I don't know if there's a audio break this down on here. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Why would there be an echo? That's really odd.
You know the cost, savings, and all of the savings? And sending bloodthirsty terrorists, savage gang members.
Yeah, I see that like left to right. Hold on. I'm going to switch to a different version of the feed. 1743. I'll remember that. Okay. Let's see. See if I can find somebody else's. That's the Fox News feed. And it is just ass. Trump's stunning Florida. So let's go. Okay.
In decline.
Hold on.
We are failing.
Wait, stop. Shut up. This is one of those live terminally live feeds. Jesus. 11 hours. Yeah, so it's on a loop. Okay, let's go to...
And let the media talk about...
Hold on. This is this. And then we go to here. And we're waiting for him. Here we go.
In 4 weeks once I got in. We want no inflation, not 30 or 50% inflation, which is what you had. Think of it. You were destroyed. People were destroyed with the inflation.
Yeah, they were. Not anymore.
I don't even order bacon anymore. You know, bacon's gone up
yeah,
like 5. I said, it's too expensive. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Also, not true. Whatever. Okay.
No, it's gone up many times, right? Byron
No.
likes bacon. Bacon, I think maybe, how many stand up, Byron?
Jesus Christ. It sounds like a Sausages ad. Fuck's wrong with you? Let me jump ahead.
But we want to send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong. Remember, as I said, they come from prisons, they come from jails. All these countries are at record low numbers of crimes.
Okay,
but that's true with most countries. And if I were running one of the countries...
Okay, we're past this part.
The chair, you know, those chairs are meant for children and... So many people, very few were thrown out, but the ones that came... How crazy is it? Silence of the Lambs. Did you see it? Insane asylums and mental institutions.
And by the way, a big gold sale on RSB on Newsmax 2. By the way, that's how much they love Trump. He's on Newsmax 2.
Into our country by the tens of thousands, and they're closing them down in other countries. Because, you know, the cost savings and all of the savings, and sending blood...
All the different kinds of savings besides cost savings.
Thirsty terrorists, savage gang members, and child predators into the United States to prey...
To work on your campaign?
Prey on our people, to prey on you, to prey on everybody.
Yeah, as vendors at MAGA gatherings. Yeah, they sell the T-shirts. They run the snow cone machine. They're your close staff.
They're coming not only from South America, but from all over the world, from Asia, Africa, and every other place. They're coming from all over.
Yeah, every other place. The moon, Saturn, the Phantom Zone.
Over the world. 2 weeks ago, I spoke to the grieving mother, Jocelyn.
Of someone who died during your term because of an easily preventable gun crime? Oh, no, sorry.
Nungari, a
Jesus.
precious 12-year-old girl from Houston who was tied up, stripped, assaulted, raped, strangled to death after walking the block to a 7-Eleven store on the corner. Her body was dumped near the side of the road in a shallow creek. Charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder. Beautiful, beautiful girl. The mother is...
Jesus. Yeah, don't sexualize a dead rape victim.
Devastated. Like, I mean, pretty much, I would say, over. The mother...
Fuck you! Basically, your mother should just blow her brains out. I mean, I don't know how... There's no real reason to go on living. I told her that.
I don't know. I spoke to the mother. Mother is just... as you would be, as anybody would be. But charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder are 2 illegal aliens who Joe Biden set loose into our country. He let them loose, and they knew...
Did he? Really? Why? Because they got a visa to work at Mar-a-Lago?
Who they were. They came across our border claiming they feared for their lives. No, other people feared for... They feared for their lives.
They feared for their lives.
When they saw these 2 guys, they didn't fear at all. They had no fear. Tough. They're tough people. And...
This is going well.
Joe Biden and his group of people let them in. We're going to bring back, by the way, we're bringing back Tom Homan. We're bringing back all of the guys that did such a great job on the border.
Yeah, we're bringing back Bill Barr and Alex Acosta, everybody that gave Jeffrey Epstein a break. You know, because we hate it when you know, it's terrible when illegal immigrants are taking the child murder and assault jobs away from Americans.
We had the greatest border in history.
And then you built a wall and created an access road so that they could easily walk into the country, because all you had to do was walk to the end of the wall where it hit private or Indian land, just walk around it.
Brandon, Judd, great people. These are great people. One of them was in the country for only 20 days before ending Jocelyn's beautiful American life, and recently in Virginia.
Really? I thought they got a chance to come in and settle down, and they were, you know, They were being allowed. He barely had time to spend his welfare checks and live in a hotel while a vet was kicked on the street, right?
Virginia, at Trump National Golf Club in the Potomac River, I had lunch with the mother of and the sister of Rachel Morin.
Wait, hold on.
In Virginia, at Trump National, back all of the guys that did such a great job on the border. We had the greatest border in history. Brandon, Judd, great people. These are great people. One of them was in the country for only 20 days before ending Jocelyn's beautiful American life, and recently in Virginia, at Trump National Golf Club in the Potomac River, I had lunch with the mother of and the sister of Rachel Morin. Rachel was a...
So you couldn't visit them at their home. You had them brought to your golf course so that you could have press there, and even so that the Supreme, if the Secret Service are going to protect you, they're going to pay to be on your property. Fucking hell.
37-year-old beautiful mother of 5 who was attacked, raped, and brutally murdered while out on a run. She was running. She always wanted to keep herself in good shape, her mother told me. She was a beautiful person. Police believe the sadistic monster charged with Rachel's death first killed another woman in another country, then fled across Joe Biden's wide-open border into the United States after...
Walking down Donald Trump's access road to the end of Donald Trump's wall that would have been difficult terrain to surpass earlier, but now it's flat. It's perfect. You could roll a rolling suitcase down it.
To which he attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion in Los Angeles before murdering Rachel in Maryland. When I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of our...
Didn't stop the people who were already in when you were here. Honestly, there were a bunch of these things that happened because we're not, even with a wall, you're never going to be able to stop everybody that comes in. And again, he gave special dispensation to Venezuelans, and people got around it and didn't even get to be questioned or have their case brought up because of the pass that he gave them during that time, which includes the guy who had attacked her.
Our American suburbs and
Oy.
cities and towns. We're going to stop it. We will shut down deadly...
Still no Carl or Mark. I think we've... let me see... Sorry, I'm checking moderators right now because everybody should be in there, but I'm just checking. I'm just looking. Carl, do me a favor and just say hi so I can see Carl Alessi, so I can see that you're in there, and it'll make it pop up in my feed.
Sanctuary cities, I will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement. We will close up our border, and we want people to come in, but they have to come in.
Oh yeah, he's got his wrench next to his name. He's good. Yeah. All good.
Legally, they have to come in legally. And on day one, we will begin.
By the way, the Venezuelans that he's talking about did come in legally because they were given special dispensation. They were given, he put a moratorium on deporting them, even if they were here illegally. That makes them legal.
In the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country.
Yes, papers, please, law. Libertarians should love that. He'll just knock on your door, and if you don't have your birth certificate handy, they're gonna dump you on the Mexico side of the border, and good luck getting back in.
You have no choice.
Sure you do. Here's a good idea. Fix the natural barriers that were there after the wall was built, instead of making, again, it like a easily trafficked road straight into the country via private land or Indian land.
And as I say, and I say it all the time,
As I say,
and I already said it to you, no one has been hurt more by the Biden invasion than our great African American and Hispanic American populations. Under Crooked Joe, 109% of all net job creation over the last year has gone to migrants. Did you know that? Almost every job that was created has gone to migrants. In fact, more than every job. It's crushing wages for American workers, draining resources for American citizens, and stealing American jobs. And they are stealing them at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Joe Biden wants to be the president for illegal aliens, but I will be the president for law-abiding Americans.
Oh, so not you then.
Of every background, every walk of life, and every race, religion, color, and creed.
Except Muslims and, and churches that support gay people or a woman's right to choose.
Joe Biden's
Yeah, he said 109% of jobs.
job numbers are fake. They're fake numbers, and the fake media knows it, but they don't look at all of them back there. Oh, that's a lot, Marco. That's a lot, Marco.
It's so weird, like him calling on Marco Rubio. I mean, it's almost like it seems like proof he's not going to pick the dude. Like I'm teasing everybody by talking to you because I'm definitely not going to pick you. That's what this seems like. This seems like bullshit from the fucking The Apprentice or Bachelor. This is the head fake that they do.
I think they probably think I'm going to be announcing that Marco's going to be vice president. I don't know. Because that's a lot of press. That's a lot of press. They're also overwhelmingly
Then that he definitely isn't. He's not going to tease it like that.
part-time jobs, which really means that they're second jobs of people who are struggling to get by. They're being taken by the illegal migrants that are coming into our country in these record numbers. We've never seen anything.
Sorry, people's second job is being taken?
It is indeed an invasion.
It is an invasion. I agree. What was that word again? An invasion? You got to worry about it. These are look, what do I know? These are the best words. What do you want to do?
Country in these record numbers. We've never seen anything. It is indeed an invasion.
It is. It is indeed an invasion.
When I return to the White House, I will once again be the greatest jobs president that God has ever created.
Jesus Christ. You mean Hoover Part 2 beta? Again, not even close to true. Just goofy bullshit.
And like we had 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, we will
You mean before any of your policies could have even been put into action?
have full-time jobs at a level that nobody's ever seen before.
You mean because of the Obama administration before you triggered a recession that was hidden by how bad you fucked up COVID?
The greatest economy in the history of the planet.
No. And if you did, it's been tripled by Biden in spite of him having to deal with a pandemic.
Well-paying jobs and jobs that can support a home and a family very, very easily. We had it all.
No, we did not.
As everyone knows, the Biden
like nobody's ever seen before because you didn't see it then.
economy is a nightmare for working families under Crooked Joe. Inflation, price hikes, and they've cost, listen to this, $28,000. $28,000. And under Trump, you made $14,000. That's a big swing. Under Biden and Harris,
Well, until you shit the bed on the entire economy and the pandemic, and we had riots and people's entire livelihoods got burned to the ground.
half of Americans are not taking a vacation
Hashtag Rip Portland.
at all this summer because they can't afford to do it. Most say it's
Then who are these fucking people behind you? What are you talking about? Tourism in California and Florida are up. Okay, hold on. Real quick. Yeah. There you go. This is you want to see Biden's I guess this is from the Floridian. Here you go. Florida sees record-breaking tourism year. This is 2023 numbers. Florida's has a deep history of attracting tourism from around the United States. This week, DeSantis announced the data pertaining to visitors in 2023 shows that Florida saw a whopping 140.6 million visitors, an all-time record. So far in 2024, Florida saw 40.6 million visitors in the first quarter of the financial year. The 2023 figure is an increase of 2.3% from 2022's record-breaking year and makes a new benchmark for visitation to the state. Domestic visitation within the United States reached an all-time high with 129.1 million domestic visitors choosing to come to Florida in 2023, along with 8.3 million overseas visitors and 3.2 million Canadian visitors. 2024 domestic visitation in the first financial quarter of the year saw 37.2 million visitors, the highest number ever for a single financial quarter. That's, nobody can even afford a fucking vacation, even though you're in the vacation state right now.
Because the cost,
by the way, thanks, Disney.
Of daily life is so high, no matter what they make, they can't. Because, they like to say 20%, 29%, 26%, 31%. I think your real inflation is way over 50%, and I believe that.
Who gives a fuck what you believe? You can't do math. Asshole, you're talking to 4,000 people and you think it's 40,000. We know how to reverse engineer your bullshit math skills.
Meanwhile, Crooked Joe has spent almost 50% of his presidency.
Hal, check another source you can trust. Anything but does not knows. Yeah, he announced it, but he didn't come up with those numbers, Barbara, in the chat room. By the way, hit that like. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you, Klaatu. For that super chat. We're getting blocked today on your show. We are? I tried to fix that on there, but hopefully we're better now. Yes?
On vacation. Almost all of it, including many, many weeks on the beach. And mansions are in... Think of this. Here's a guy that's been a politician all his life. He's got homes in the Virgin Islands, Nantucket, Lake Tahoe, Kiowa.
What?
Island. I mean, where the hell did they get all this money, Byron?
What the fuck? No, he does not. Just, honestly, just fucking nonsense. Biden doesn't have a house in the Virgin Islands. Who the fuck?
He's got more homes than I do.
You don't have a home. You're our first homeless president. Congratulations. You don't have a house. The apartment that he has in Trump Tower is no longer his home. He is not registered there at all. Okay. By any stretch of the imagination, he does not have a house. He doesn't. Mar-a-Lago's not a home. It's an event space. He can't live there for more than 90 days. He is committing... Okay, Trump is committing voter fraud right now. Okay? Feel free to check this. Trump has registered his voting address as Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago cannot be his permanent address. It is an event space. No one is allowed to live there for more than 90 days. It is a club. If it becomes a home, it has to change the tax designation on it, so he keeps it a club, and you can't live at a club for more than 90 days. That's how it works. That's why he has to leave. That's not his house. He has no right to register to vote at that property. He could technically, I guess, do it in at Trump Tower, but I don't know. I think the Trump organization owns that, not him personally, anyways. And that he might be losing that property to pay off his debt to the city and to the state of New York.
What the hell is going on with him?
Nothing. Biden has two houses. He has two houses. He had one, and then he sold a book, and his book made $20 million. He's got $12 million, I think what it was, and he's worth 10 because of taxes, and they gave a bunch away.
And that home he's got in Delaware is pretty nice, right?
You mean his only home?
Remember, they said it was his son's home. You know who?
No, they did not.
His son is running it, right? You know that, right?
The house.
You know that
his son's his butler now.
He's running our government, and Jill is helping.
Really? Hey, Hunter! Congrats on the jobs numbers, man.
Jill is helping. Where's Hunter? Remember the sign? Where's Hunter?
Yes, people were saying, "Where's Donald?" because you were missing for 11 days.
Where's Hunter? He's in the White House.
Yeah, I guess solve that mystery.
Hunter is in the White House running government right now, they say. That's interesting.
Do they? Who? Gorka, the same guy who said that Kamala was colored, I think was the phrase he used.
No wonder Joe doesn't want to give up the job. His own staff says that the only...
His says? Who, by the way, who pronounces the word says, S-A-Y-S, says? He does it in his little fucking QAnon ramble, too. He says, quickly, oh, quickly, says Donald Trump. Who the fuck is that? I mean, do you think that's a... I'm curious. Does anybody think that's like a brain fart? Like his... kind of like oranges?
The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges.
Remember that? Yeah. Says.
Give up the job. His own staff says that the only...
His own staff says. Says. I think he might be literal reading. He might be reading it as say, and then the S throws him off, and he says says because it looks like it's spelled that way. That's the only thing I can think of.
Hours he works are 10 a.m. to 4. Does anybody here have a job like that? Raise your hand, please.
You used to come in, you never came in before 11 and you were done by 2. You golfed more than any president in history. Donald Trump, the federal government, the taxpayer, spent over 400 years of presidential salary flying this motherfucker to his own properties. Actually, I think it was 354 years, if I'm being completely honest. So over 350 years of presidential salary to pay for his properties, to keep them propped up during his fucking presidency. And also, he lied his ass off when he said he donated his salary. He only did it twice, and even still, he had to be pressured into doing it, I think, the second year. What the fuck?
And I doubt he even spends that. And today he's with the people from NATO. And these people are sharp. I know them very well, every one of them. They're very smart.
Yes, they're partners of ours.
They're at the top of their game, and they're saying, what the hell is with this guy? We don't...
No, they listened to his speech and they went, what the hell is with this guy? He's amazing. They gave him a standing ovation.
We can't figure it out.
We can't figure out why I'm standing and clapping now. He must have a hypnosis ray.
You know, I saved Nutto because when I went down...
Oh, you saved Nutto, did you? Huh? Is that your nickname for Eric?
What the hell is with this guy? We can't figure it out. You know, I saved Nutto because when I...
He saved Nutto. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that is Eric's nickname.
I went down. Hey, Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him? He would go and, go to wherever they're holding the NATO meeting, and he'd make a nice speech and he'd leave. And Bush would go and make a nice speech and he would leave. In all fairness, Bush.
And nobody questioned the strength of the alliance.
Oh yeah. But he'd make a nice...
They're booing Bush, by the way, which is fine. I have no problem. Feel free to boo him. But again, anybody who's booing Bush doesn't want Marco Rubio as a VP.
Speech and he'd leave. They'd all go make speeches and they'd leave. They wouldn't even stay there a day. I went and didn't make a nice speech. I said, what the hell are you doing? Nobody's paying. Nobody was paying. But I didn't want to be obnoxious because I felt...
Too late.
It's the first time I'd ever done this. I went... I didn't even know what the hell NATO was too much before, but it didn't take me long to figure it out, like about 2 minutes. And the first thing I figured out was they weren't paying.
No. The first thing you figured out was that you had gotten marching orders from Vladimir Putin to shut down NATO. And saying that nobody is contributing was going to be your opening salvo. The reason people kicked in was because they knew this was an attempt to undermine the NATO alliance. They weren't going to give you that shot. They weren't going to give you the chance.
We were paying almost fully for NATO. And I said, that's unfair, but I didn't want to make a big mess. I was president for about 15 minutes, and I didn't want to...
Well, it didn't stop you from shutting down TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was to push back against Chinese hegemony and manufacturing in the South China Seas and the surrounding islands and Japan and South Korea and the like. You did that right away, and mysteriously $17 million showed up in a bank account in China that previously had never had more than $700,000 in it that you used to pay taxes, and you took $15 million out of it in cash the day it happened.
You know, go after NATO is my first thing. But 6 months later, I went back to the second meeting and I said, you know what? You're not paying your bills. You got to pay your bills. Somebody stood up from one of the countries, 28 countries, and only 7 were paying what they should be paying. 28 countries. Think of that. And these countries, now we added a couple, but 20.
Also, it's not a protection racket. Again, we pay for more because it costs us more to bring our troops over for training than it does people who are right across the river.
28 countries. And they said, sir, could I ask you, I said, you have to pay your bills. They said, sir, may I ask you a question? If we don't pay our bills, will you protect us from
Yeah, they're not bills.
Russia?
And none of them said bills.
I said, you mean you're delinquent? They said, yes, we're delinquent. Let's say we're delinquent. Would you protect us? I said, no, I will not protect you from Russia. The money came in by the billions. It came in.
Yes, much to the chagrin of Vladimir Putin. He didn't think they'd be able to do it.
Never been, right? There has never been. Where's Waltz? Where's Congressman Waltz? Am I correct, Mr. Guy? This guy loves the military. He gets sick when he looks at what we're doing, but he loves it. Is that right? I got billions.
What do you mean he gets sick? You mean he thinks we should still be in Afghanistan like you do?
Billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars came pouring in because he said, oh, this guy's a little different than the other guys. But Joe Biden...
He's in Putin's pocket, and they know Putin was planning on attacking Europe.
...is a part-time president while you are working overtime to get by. He's a part-time president. He doesn't work. Well, he can't work because he's mentally no good. He's shot.
Also, these folks behind you are working overtime, are they? Because it looks like they took the whole day off to come watch you say the same rando shit.
But he was shot 25 years ago. You know, he was never a smart person. In fact, Ted Kennedy was actually a friend of mine. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Biden wasn't smart enough. Even the smartest people, the best people, they didn't want to hang around with him. Jeffrey Epstein, he didn't want to hang around with Joe Biden. The New York mob, they weren't interested. Certainly wasn't making friends, during his presidency or his vice presidency with Kim Jong-un and those folks. I mean, I guess he's just not smart enough to be friends with those kind of people.
Because of Palm Beach. He lived in Palm Beach. The Kennedy compound, for those that think the Kennedys are struggling, they had the Kennedy compound, but I did him a favor and he liked me and I was very good to him, actually. And I said to him, Ted, let me ask you a question.
Oh, this is who's the smartest, who's the dumbest. Yeah. Ted Kennedy, who's, helped Ronald Reagan get into office.
Who's the smartest senator? Tell me. And he gave me a name, but I won't say it because I can't stand the guy, okay?
Yeah, because it's definitely not a Republican.
I'll tell you later, Marco, who he said.
Yeah, he knows. And he knows it's not him.
It wasn't you because you weren't there yet, so it can't be. But I said, who's the smartest? He gave me a name. I said, so who's the dumbest? He goes, probably Joe. This is like 20 years ago, 20-something years ago. Probably Joe. I said, who's Joe? He said, Joe Biden. I said, really? He's a dumb guy? Yeah.
Yeah, and he kicked your sorry ass. You got your ass kicked by the dumbest senator that ever lived.
Yeah, he didn't understand policy. He didn't understand tax. He didn't understand anything.
And it's funny, he just trips over himself and we've got 4% unemployment. It's weird. We just recover from a giant pandemic, have the biggest, on-fire economy, so big that the Fed doesn't want to lower interest rates because it's overheated and doing too well all the time. There's too many people making money and getting raises and all that kind of stuff and getting their, he just, trips on his shoelaces and bumbles into relieving tax burdens for the middle class and relieving, student loan debt. Right.
He's hale and hearty and well met. And outside of his really bad hair, He's, sort of a good-looking guy at the time, right? I think the facelift did not help him. Now, he said, I'm going to get myself a facelift. I'm going to give it one more try. He tried it 3 or 4 times. Didn't work. He tried it 3 or 4 times, then he said, I'm going to look great. I'm going to get a facelift. You know what took him so long to get into the race? The facelift didn't work.
Also, the Hale and Hardy and Well Met, he does this, he says this a bunch. Let me see if I can find, yeah, here you go. This is the, hold on, there you go. Okay. Is a Hail Fellow Well Met. It's an archaic English idiom used as an exaggerated greeting referring to a person who is sociable and constantly making an effort to win friends. He's likable. That's what he means. Donald Trump has never been accused of being a Hail Fellow Well Met.
Under my leadership, we will make America affordable again so that every American family can afford to take a thing called a vacation. Isn't that nice?
Everyone, you're in a vacation state. Everybody there has the ability to take time off from work because they've had some of the best vacation years ever. And by the way, a lot of it has to do with just being post-COVID.
And on day one, we will throw out Bidenomics and replace it with a thing called Meganomics. We will...
yeah, that's the part where you want to do a 180.
Quickly build...
And take the economy back to what, the mid-70s?
The greatest economy in the history of the world. I will repeal every disastrous Biden regulation, of which there are many.
Yeah, give us one. There are many. I mean, obviously you can't name them all. There's so many, but just one. One Biden regulation you're going to repeal. And just
cancel Crooked Joe's insane electric vehicle mandate. How stupid. And we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill like we never drilled before.
First of all, why? Why? Why would we? Why do we? We're already producing more oil than we ever have, and oil consumption in the world is going down. And it ain't our oil. It's private. You can't drill, baby, drill. There are 9,000 unused leases. What are you gonna? And this would be a good question. How are you going to force oil companies to produce more oil and drive the price down? How are you going to make them do it? Are you going to enforce through the removal of, financial support in a myriad of ways for R&D and all that kind of stuff? Are you going to say, if you don't use a lease, we're going to take it back and you owe us for the time you borrowed it until such time? Tell us, because the minute you mention any of these fucking things, everybody around you financially is going to run for the hills.
We were energy independent 4 years ago. Think of it.
And we still are. And we're producing more oil than we ever have.
Going to be energy dominant within months. 4 years ago, energy independent. I will deliver large tax cuts, larger than you even have now. Do you know, I tell the story to people. It's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe that you still tell this story, whatever it
I
is.
reduced taxes, the largest tax cuts in the history of our country.
For corporations and billionaires.
I reduced them bigger than the Reagan tax cuts many years ago. And with a low...
Also, no. Sixth biggest tax cut in history. Totally unpaid for, though. I think that's the biggest thing. Biggest debt from a tax break ever. That's clearly true. Donald Trump raised the national debt from his tax cuts more than anybody else. So that absolutely is one for the history books.
Lower rate, the following year, we took in much more tax money. Think of it. So we're getting much less. That meant for small businesses, large businesses.
No, you didn't.
Because that's what the job creators are. For middle-income people, low-income people, everybody. And he wants to let that expire. And if you do, your taxes are going to go up about 5 times, 4 times.
Only if you're a billionaire. There aren't any billionaires on the stage, much less in the audience.
Times to 5 times more. How would you feel if they raise your taxes by 4 or 5 times? Not too
good.
And remember that when you're going into the voting booth. Do I want to have a terrible president who has no idea where the hell he is?
Or do I want to make sure women stay second-class citizen because fuck those bitches? If they hadn't bit the apple, we wouldn't be in all this trouble, right?
And less importantly, do I want to pay 4 times more tax? And remember, what I'm going to do is something that nobody has ever even thought about doing.
Sexually assaulting their own daughter?
No tax on tips. For all of you waitresses, for all of you...
And for politicians who take a bribe, it's considered a tip now.
Caddies at Doral. I came to Doral, and there were some caddies at the shack. We call it Caddy Shack. It's the most beautiful caddy shack I've ever seen.
And coming from Smales, that means a lot.
We have the world's most beautiful. They sit down and watch television. And I never had this before. They were out for a round. They're very sweaty, very, very sweaty guys. Look, they're carrying bags all over the place. Not easy.
Yeah, you're not.
It's 100 degrees out today.
Right. Carry your own fucking bag.
103, 104.
Right. They know they're all outside. Yeah, we get it. You have servants. Uh-huh.
And they saw me and they gave me the biggest hug. I said, get the hell out of here. You're soaking wet. I said, why do you like me so much today, but in the past you never touched
You treated me like shit.
me and kissed me and hugged me? It's very simple, sir. No tax on tips. Thank you very much. So for caddies, for waitresses, it's tremendous. And it's a very complicated thing, frankly, for the government to collect. But they've issued new rules and regulations that make it very bad for people. The reason I thought of this, I was in Nevada, where we're leading, by the way, a lot. We're up by like 14 points in Nevada.
No, you're not.
That's supposed to be a little bit Democrat territory, but we're leading in Nevada, and a waitress
It's called pole jacking, ladies and gentlemen.
came over, beautiful waitress, and I never like talking about physics because she's beautiful inside. Because you never talk about a person's look, ever. You never mention it. The other day, I got very angry. Some man called Chris Christie fat, and I said, sir, and then he said he was a pig. I said, sir, Chris Christie is not a fat pig. Please remember that. He is not a fat pig. Please take it back. And the guy's looking at me like, really? No, we have to defend people.
Yeah, first of all, like other apocryphal Sir stories, that's bullshit. Also, I think it's because he took it personally.
You can't go people.
Because I think it's the pig part that made him you don't call him a pig. We don't have anything in common. That's where he went.
Fat. So I said about 9 times, he is not a fat pig. So every time you leave a tip for the next 4 months, because it's going to go into effect very quickly, make sure that you write on the receipt, vote Trump for no tax on trips.
No trips, yes. No, all trips are free.
No tax on tips.
Tips or trips?
That's a good one.
Hold on one second.
No tax on tips. That's a good one. No, but the waitress said, I said, how are you doing? She said, worked there a long time, great person, beautiful person. And she said, oh, it's brutal with the government, what they do to us. It's crazy. They come, they put on 88,000 people to go and take advantage of people like that.
What? You mean 88,000 IRS agents to go after waitresses?
And she said, it's brutal. I said, I have a great idea.
No, it doesn't. You were not talking to a waitress who'd been audited.
Yeah, how about no tax on tips? That was the extent of my study. One waitress. But it's true. It made so much. Isn't it funny that nobody ever thought of that but me? Isn't that weird? But it's a great...
People think about it all the time, and they shut it down. Because it leaves too much room for money laundering and all kinds of other shit. It also makes it so that the restaurant chains and the like start lowering the wages for their employees to offset it, because that's not true of any other employee there. Just because you wash dishes and you cook the shit, you're not getting a tip. right? Just the servers.
Thing, and they deserve their money. They work hard for it. They deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah, fuck the cleaning crew, fuck the janitors, right?
Marco, you're going to vote for it, I hope. Well, you may or may not be there to vote for it, but you'll be involved. It's no wonder Joe Biden and his
Yeah, he's teasing him about this. This ain't happening.
thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. That's why they are weaponizing law enforcement against their opponents. They are turning America into communist Cuba or socialist Venezuela. By the way, Venezuela is much more than socialist by now. You know that, right? We got.
I don't know, because I guess you gave them a special dispensation to send their communists here or something?
Who's here from Venezuela? Who's here from Cuba? You know, I had it all done with Cuba. They didn't rig the election. Within 6 months, we were going to have that all worked out. They were.
What the fuck are you talking about? You shut down the open trade between them and us.
Ready. Then Biden came in, right? Then Biden came in, he opened it up. It's a disgrace. Trying to silence dissent and put their political adversaries behind bars. He wants to put me behind bars.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about him. He's not doing it, though. He's got to wait till the courts do it, you know? A jury will do it.
My parents are looking down saying this was not planned when he went to the Wharton School of Finance.
But we're lucky. You know, it wasn't planned, but, you know, silver linings. This is sometimes you roll the dice and you come up 7.
The great Alphonse Capone. You know Alphonse, a very nice gentleman. Very fine man. Scarface, they call him in some territory. Here's a scar from here to here. He didn't get it by playing tiddlywinks either. No, he was a guy that, see this man right up here is a very tough guy. I know him. He's tough as hell. If he ever had dinner with Al Capone and Al Capone didn't like him, he'd look at him and say, "Are you mocking me?" And this guy would go, "No, I promise I'm not." But if Alphonse didn't like you, you'd never see him again, darling. Your husband would never be home again.
Darling? You just called the guy darling and then had to sell it on whoever the woman standing next to him was?
Right now be a part of a foundation of a very tall building. But Al Capone got indicted less than I did.
No, he didn't. You have a lot of individual charges, but you've only been indicted 4 times. Al Capone was indicted 6 times.
Think of it. Alphonse Capone,
Indicted 6 times, you were indicted 4.
parents would look down. They were so great. They're saying, how did this ever happen to my son? But you know what? We're
He deserves it.
finding out, and everybody knew, and I've been saying it's a total fraud. It was election interference. That's all it was. All Biden. They're all Biden indictments, the local ones, the state ones. They're all
Why would he bother? If he's got total immunity, why didn't he just dust you off?
Biden indictments.
I'm not recommending it, and I don't think it's a good thing, but I'm curious as to why you think he doesn't.
He's a bad guy. And he's unleashed a horrible thing on this country. He's really done. Wouldn't you say, Byron? He has unleashed a horrible thing because, you know, that can happen the other way around, too. But the Supreme Court came out with an incredible decision this week, and I have great respect for the courage that they've shown.
Yes, to give Joe Biden total immunity to send SEAL Team 6 to take care of his political adversaries, and you supporting it. I mean, that's bravery.
Great respect for the courage that they've shown. They have great intellect and great insight, incredible insight. They got it. They saw what was
It's 2 words that start with IN, and I can't remember which one I was going to use.
happening, not only with me, but with other people. What they did with the Fisher verdict. You know the Fisher verdict, right? That has to do with the J6 people. They had great decisions this last week. Decisions on regulations that are going to free up businesses and allow businesses to hire people and thrive.
Oh, yeah? Which ones are those? Oh, you want? Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of, like, I guess states and counties are going to have to clean up water now because of the Chevron decision. So they're going to, all these, processing plants, these, like, water purification facilities and stuff are going to need lots more people.
All of their persecution is only happening because I am running for president and leading very big in every single poll. And
Nope.
we're not just leading against crooked Joe Biden, we're leading against Kamala and we're leading against everybody else, and our senators and our congressmen are coming in with us. We're going to have a big, big day.
Oh, yeah, red wave, just like 2022. Think back. Remember the story. Look at all the polling leading into 2022. Oh, man. It was going to be huge, this red wave. It's just, you can't stop it.
Important day. The radical left Democrats have spent this entire election posing as defenders of democracy. You ever hear Biden? He's a threat to democracy. He doesn't even know what the hell the term is. Trump is a threat to democracy. This guy. Low IQ. He's a low IQ individual. But they're lying.
Again, I have to say, is this considered like hardcore snaps in MAGA world? It's like, boom, low IQ, he dropped that shit. Come on.
And the entire world of Joe Biden's condition.
He also, he doesn't, you know how people say Biden has the it's not a joke thing, it's not hyperbole, it's not a joke when he says that, and that Jimmy Dore was even saying that's a verbal tick that Biden has, and he relies on it too much or whatever. Whatever you can think that, but Trump does this thing. He doesn't even know what the word means. Is one of his go-tos. He said it 3 times already. I forget what the second one was. Synagogue was the first, and democracy was the second. It was this last one.
I mean, you see his condition. You see them frantically trying to overturn the results of 50 state primaries and install a new candidate at the behest of their very rich donors. Do you know that?
But apparently not. Oh, you mean the donors that Biden said, I don't do this for millionaires?
We took in record numbers over the last 4 weeks.
No, you did not.
And most of it was taken in with small donors.
Nope. Oh, thank you, Jerry, for the super chat. Thank you so much, President Joe Biden. 4 more years. Vote blue. Vote for democracy. I agree. Thank you very much. Hold on. Can I make a little star thing next to it? There you go.
$61 on average, $61. And those people vote. But the Democrats, I think that their funding is stopping because I think they're.
Yeah, you think it is? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it then. I mean, you should just, take the money that you have on hand and just spend it on your legal defense. Oh, wait.
The rich donors, they have a lot of rich donors. We have some, but we don't really focus on it. We focus.
If it hadn't been for a single $100 million gift to the RNC, Trump would have taken in $41 million in June, and Biden would have taken in double that.
On the small donor, to me, one thing, every small donor votes. The rich donors there in Monte Carlo during the election. How's the election going?
How's your luxury going? The best words.
Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. He is a major threat to democracy, and Democrats are the ones who really want.
That's why we use the name democracy. It's all a clever ruse
to destroy.
That's why we're Democrats.
Democracy and our country. The radical left Democrats rigged the president.
By the way, real quick, I don't know if you noticed this. Let me back this up real quick. I really appreciate the dude behind him holding the sign up. If you
democracy
give it a look.
and our country. The radical.
There it is. It's never surrender. Trump's picture, and it's upside down. It's upside down. It's pretty great. It's pretty great that it's upside down. I think it's fantastic. I think it really it caps off the evening.
The left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020.
Nope, he fixed
and
it.
We're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election in 2024.
If they did it while you were president and you couldn't stop them, why the fuck do you think you could stop them if you're not president? Oh, dear God. Okay. Leslie, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Mark, are your posts staying up? Did we fix that? Yay! Thanks for joining the channel. Don't forget, you can be a member. That's patreon.com/AlSparks, but also memberships on YouTube. A great way to support the show.
And every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor. I do. Because I'm being indicted for you.
Why? What the fuck did they do? There are that many criminals in your crowd?
Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. It's as simple as that.
What freedoms would those be? Their liquor license at their golf facilities because they're an indicted felon?
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being indicted. Thank you. I didn't know. What does it mean to be indicted?
I don't know. Tell us.
Thank you.
They're yelling, "We love you." I'm sure that, hey, he'll remember that when he's in court for the classified documents case next spring, and he's staring down the barrel of 700 years in jail. I'm sure he'll go, but a bunch of sweaty assholes in Doral on my golf course before I had to sell it to pay for a high-priced lawyer that couldn't get me out of these charges if he was the judge himself, were yelling, "We love you." And I still felt hollow inside.
They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you.
No, we're after you. Now we're pretty much just anybody who was in the Epstein flight logs. Fuck them. Yeah, unless all those people, hey, maybe you know, they are at Doral. The chances of that crowd being full of people who knew Jeffrey Epstein, very high. Absolutely. But as far as we know, you're the only fucker who partied with that asshole for 2 decades and change.
I just happened to be standing in their way, and
You just happened to be standing in a room with Jeffrey Epstein in 1985 and looking, going, fuck, I can imagine being friends with this guy until, I don't know, 2006 at least.
I always will be standing in their way.
No, you're not even in the way now.
We're not going to let happen to our country what's happened to so many countries that many of you people were very much involved in.
What do you mean, you people?
Through your
Wait a minute. Many of you people are very much involved in. You mean from?
parents and grandparents. You know what happened to so many of those countries.
Which ones? Which countries are we talking about? England, Germany?
We're thrilled to be joined tonight by many fantastic Florida patriots, including a man who's become really a friend of mine. We had a vicious campaign for a while, and he was tough and he was smart. And I got to really know him well over the years, and he's a fantastic guy, Senator Marco Rubio. Marco.
By the way, the fucking maggots are flipping out at even the possibility that he's going to make Marco Rubio his VP. And if he kicks him to the curb, they're going to all say it was just another way to grind Marco Rubio's face into the dirt. And if he does pick him, they're like, he's been captured by the deep state. I'm for it. Whichever way he goes with Marco Rubio, it's going to be fantastic.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you. And you have a great tandem because you have another great senator who was a great governor, fantastic governor, Senator Rick Scott.
Oh, yeah, Skeletor, the guy who is the, Medicare, Medicaid fraudster.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. You're never going to be my choice because you come out of Central Casting for the old man in Poltergeist, and that can't happen. So,
thank you, Rick. We have a lot of congressmen. Let's introduce it. What the hell else do we have to do, right? Should we introduce?
Yeah, it's not like people want to hear the snake.
And by the way, at the end, do you want the music or do you want no music?
Oh, fuck you. He doesn't want to do the music. He's hoping they get him out of it.
Music, ready? Music or no music? Ready? Who wants the music? Who wants a little bit quicker, no music? I think we have music tonight.
He didn't want to do it. Look at it. Like he wanted them to bail him the fuck out.
Get the music ready. Get the music.
Get the music. I don't want to have to do this shit.
Ready. We have some incredible, talented warriors, representatives. Corey Mills. Corey, thank you. Thank you, Corey. Great guy.
These are all very easy to pronounce names. People I've either mocked in the past or are very white sounding.
Brian Mast. We love Brian.
Yeah, mast is such an easy word.
Thank you, Brian. Mike Waltz. Thank you, Mike. Doing great.
Yeah, just like Christoph Waltz is the hero of Trump's from Inglourious Bastards.
Yesterday's a hard word for me. A man I'm not going to get into a fight with him anytime soon. Byron Donalds, who's fantastic. His wife,
Why?
by the way, is a true expert on education. I say, stay ready.
Oh, so she wants to shut down public education. Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you. Thank you, Donna, for being here. Appreciate it. Great person. Maria Salazar.
He's going to put her in charge of the Department of Education so she can shut down all the public schools and create just kind of like armies of idiot voters for him in the future. Is that the idea? Another Betsy DeVos. That's exactly right.
Thank you, Maria. Great. Thank you very much. Carlos Jimenez. Carlos.
Don't choke to death saying Jimenez.
Good man. Mario Diaz Balart. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. You have a fantastic lieutenant governor that's here, Jeanette Nunes. Jeanette, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you.
Fabulous.
And Florida State Senators Debbie Mayfield. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie.
She's a plural.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Debbie, for being two Debbies.
Ileana Garcia. Thank you. Ana Maria Rodriguez. Thank you. Great people. State Representatives Jessica Baker. Randy Fine. Where's Randy Fine? Good. Thanks, Randy.
Larry's brother.
Kevin Steele. Paula Stark. Juan Carlos
People are packing up.
Porras.
Look at the people walking out.
Lena Garcia.
It's like a steady stream right now. Ah, fuck, he's going to play the music. Let's get out of here. Let's get to the car.
David Barrero. Fabian.
There's a guy
Macebe.
dropping out.
Fabian, thank you. Tom Fabricio. Thank you, Tom. Thanks, Tom. Vicky Lopez.
All right, let's get to this.
Does a fantastic job.
Get to this.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm introducing about 25%. We did it by the luck of the draw. Miami-Dade County Commissioner.
Fuck.
Amazing. Laura Loomer.
Oh yeah. By the way, yeah, Laura Loomer's a fucking nutcase. But they're all kicking in to pay for this event. So the reason he has to name check everybody is because all of their campaigns are contributing to this event. It is not a Trump event. They're paying to get their volunteers there. They're filling it up like all these different reps from all over the state and stuff. They bring their people up to fill the crowd in. Just saying.
Where is she?
And once they're named, they can leave. That's the other thing, is that he's calling off some of these like local reps and their supporters, and they fuck off. Like, okay, he said our guy, we can go, and they leave because they're there in the picture for their person behind him.
Where's Laura? She is amazing.
Amazingly stupid.
Felix Lasarte.
Sorry, how's that go?
Amazing. Felix Lasarte.
Liz Harte.
Felix. Where is Felix? My lawyer. He's my lawyer. How am I doing? Am I getting the damn zoning done, Felix? He's doing a great job. And my sons, and we have one of my sons, this is the first time he's ever done it. First of all, one you know, and he's an incredible guy. He's very tough. He's very, very strong. Great speaker, great talent.
Wait, is there a child we don't know about?
Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, okay, yeah, then he was being ironic, I see. He's being sarcastic again. Guys, I mean, one thing you say about my dad is he's not on any of the Epstein documents, and I keep bringing that up everywhere because I want everybody to make him feel like I felt when he buried my fucking mother on a golf course with no headstone. I mean, shit.
And another son who's here tonight. I love when my sons and family come, you know, it's really nice.
Yeah, especially because it's driving distance, I guess.
Somebody who's fantastic, works so hard, so smart, has a great wife, as does Don.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Right? They didn't get married, did they? No. Don left his wife to be with Kimberly Guilfoyle. They haven't gotten married. What are you talking about?
Has a great wife, as does Don. Oh, you like Laura, right?
Oh, sorry. Do they both share her? Is she married to both your sons? Is this some sort of weird, like, Trump Mormon thing?
Let's get off Eric and let's talk about Laura. Laura's only the head of the Republican Party. She's upwardly mobile. She's upwardly mobile.
Yeah, that's better. Say that. That sounds much better.
But a man who's done an incredible job at the company, and I think there has never been a human being that's had more subpoenas. Every day, Congress would serve a subpoena on him, and he has done some job, I'll tell you. Eric Trump.
Oh. I thought he was always saying Don Jr. got the most subpoenas. But, I guess in some defense of this, Eric had to plead the fifth and Don Jr. didn't. Oh, thanks, Barbara, for gifting the memberships. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Great.
Melania is not there. It's too far from her home in Maryland.
Great job. And a very young man. This is a young man. He just turned 18. Oh, look at this. A very young man
Oh, dear.
who's now going to college, got into every college he wanted to, and he made his choice. And he's a very good guy, I'll tell you. You know, I'm not allowed to call them boy, but he is my boy. He's my boy. They're all my
Why not?
boys, right? When you have sons, they can be any age. They're your boy. They're always going to be. And he is a very special guy. Barron Trump. This is the first time he's ever done this. Barron.
Yes, that's how you talk about your son. He's a very special guy.
Where is Barron?
That's a good question.
Stand up. Look at him.
If he stands up, he's the same height as you on stage. And the same height as the guy who is the security guard at Tiffany's in Trump Tower. That's not weird.
That's the first time he's done it. That's the first time, right? Hey, you're pretty popular. He might be more popular than Don and Eric. We got to talk about this. Hey, Don, we got to talk about this, huh? All right. So, Barron, it's good to have you. Welcome to the scene, Barron. I don't know. He had such a nice, easy life. Now it's a little bit changed.
Yeah, way to fuck up his life.
Anyway, special guy.
He's 18. Leave him alone.
Right? Also,
He's an adult. You brought him into this. He's fair game now, I guess. Whatever he says.
some grandchildren who are very talented. Two of them are great golfers, really great golfers. You all know about Kai. Where's Kai? Kai?
No, we don't.
And a real little killer. She hits a long ball for her size. She can barely lift the club until she swings. Her swing is perfect. Chloe.
Leave the little kids out of this, you creep.
And Don Jr.'s here somewhere, I think.
You mentioned him already.
Vanessa is here. Oh, there he is. Good. Hi, Don. What a good group.
Where's your wife? Your wife that I mentioned earlier. Your wife, the wife you have. Your wife. You have a great wife. Where's that wife right now?
Vanessa Trump, stand up.
I'm creeped out already.
Thanks. Thank you, Don Jr. That's good.
Wait, sorry. Is Vanessa Trump Don Jr.'s drag name? And so he has to ask both of them to stand up, and Don just rises up and covers his beard and goes, "Time to make the donuts."
Don the Third, and also a real friend of the family. She's been friendly. You know, she started off on The Five years ago, and she made that show very successful. She was the star of that show, actually. And she was always good to me a long time, long before I knew her in this capacity. And she was really a big star on television, very, very big. The Five, when it was just in its infancy and it was hot as it could be. Kimberly Guilfoyle. Thank you, Kimberly.
Oh, so not Don's not wife. I got you.
And she hasn't stopped. So thank you all for being here. And I know I didn't introduce many congressmen and likes of others, but I think we have to.
And likes of others. Yeah, you missed the likes of others. But that's all right. It's all right. It's excellent. Excellent.
To get back to the business at hand. Is it too hot for anybody? No, not bad. Once you get used to the fact that you're soaking wet, from the moment we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, I believe we are going to
Look at everybody fanning themselves so they don't keel over.
have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
We didn't already?
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we, all of us together, win the presidency,
Before you urinate?
I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, and I will prevent our nation, and we will prevent the whole world from entering World War III, because
How?
that's where we are. We're very close to World War III.
Well, if we're very close, how do you stop it? If we're that close, it's going to happen before the election even.
And Biden doesn't have a clue.
He doesn't have a clue that we're almost in World War III and that you have a plan to stop it that you won't tell anyone. Gee, it's almost like your health care plan.
Should have never allowed, if you think about it, Russia, Ukraine would have never happened. October 7th, the attack on Israel would have never happened.
Why? Because you would have nuked Gaza and Russia?
Inflation would have never happened.
Because the economy would have stayed shut down?
Think of our country if the election wasn't rigged. Think of it. Think where we'd be if they didn't rig that election. So we're not going to let it happen again because our country won't exist. It would be I believe it would be the last election we've ever had if anything happened. I really believe it. We're not going to let that happen. You got to.
Yeah, you're fucked, dude. You're not going to be president. So, I mean, pack your shit.
Get out and vote.
No, women across the country are going to bury you.
If I was
metaphorically, calm the fuck down.
President, though, and think of it, Afghanistan, one of the most embarrassing moments in the history of our country.
Yeah, that's true. If he was president, we would still be in Afghanistan, no question.
Country would also never have happened. It would have never happened.
Right, because we would have stayed.
You know, Ukraine, when you think Ukraine, I had a very good relationship with Putin. We talk about.
Yeah, he was basically your proctologist, except, his dick instead of his finger, but sure.
It was the apple of his eye. Would have never happened, I told him.
His apple of his eye. Jesus Christ. It just sounds like the way he talks about Ivanka. Like he loved Ukraine. He wants to fuck it.
Can't do it. You're not going to do it. October 7th, the attack on Israel. I knew it so well. They had no
You did?
money because the
It didn't cost any money. It's one of the cheapest attacks in the world.
purveyor of funds was Iran, and Iran was broke.
Yeah, but they didn't have like AI drones, you dumb motherfucker. They stole a bulldozer. They knocked down a chunk of wall. They had Russian guns and knives.
They had all sorts of sanctions. Nobody could buy. China couldn't buy. China was a massive.
Yeah, that's his China don't buy, none of you buy weirdness. Hold on, where's that one? I was back here. Hold on. This one. Yeah.
China don't buy. None of you buy.
It's the same shit. Like, it's so stupid. But, I mean, that period did give us
Heard
this.
that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your.
Oh, so much. All right, back to where we were.
Buyer of oil from Iran. I said, if you buy from Iran, you can't do business in the United.
Unless you're South Korea, in which case you can do $6 billion worth of business and put that money in an account and let it sit there. after he gets caught allowing them to do it.
United States, and they did very well in the United States, and they didn't buy nobody but.
Real quick, it's hold on. Okay. Real quick. Just to clarify. Hold on. How Donald Trump's oil waiver gave Iran $6 billion. This is the U.S. President Donald Trump signs a document reinstating sanctions against Iran after announcing U.S. withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal in the diplomatic reception room at the White House on May 8, 2018. In the wake of the Hamas attack against Israel, some Republicans said the Biden administration helped play a role in the violence by unfreezing $6 billion in Iranian oil money in exchange for the release of five American hostages. The accusation, which has been dismissed by the Secretary of State Antony Blinken as the White House National Security Council, said the Biden administration's decision to free up $6 billion in frozen money so it can be moved from countries such as South Korea to allow Iran to supporter of the Islamist militant group to help Hamas orchestrate the attack. Okay, however, the frozen $6 billion had originated in a decision made by Donald Trump during his time in the White House. In 2018, Trump granted 8 countries, including South Korea, a waiver that allowed them to continue purchasing oil from Iran even after the U.S. imposed sanctions on the Gulf nation after Trump abandoned the Iran nuclear deal, as he took much tougher line against Tehran than predecessor Barack Obama. This tough line later included the January 2020 assassination of Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's Quds Force. Trump then threatened to strike 52 Iranian sites if U.S. assets were targeted. In 2018, the 2018 deal meant that South Korea held $6 billion in Iranian funds, which were frozen in 2019 after the Trump administration imposed further sanctions on Iran, after it came out in the press that he had done this. Everybody flipped the fuck out. Last month, the Biden administration confirmed that a deal had been struck to free 5 American hostages in Iran. The deal saw 5 Iranian prisoners released in exchange, as well as the $6 billion in frozen assets held in South Korea being freed and transferred to an account in Doha, Qatar, where Iran has not yet accessed it. By the way, it never ended up going there. Trump and several other Republicans suggested Iran use the $6 billion to fund the group designated a terrorist group by the United States and the European Union. The former president has appeared to suggest the $6 billion figure was taxpayer dollars being given to Hamas by Iran. On Saturday, soon after the Hamas began its attack, the White House National Security Council said the money in question hasn't been accessed by Iran, and even then can only be used for humanitarian purposes. Not a single cent from these funds has been spent. When it is spent, it can only be spent on things like food and medicine for the Iranian people. The funds have absolutely nothing to do with the horrific attacks today, and this is not the time to spread disinformation. Literally, the money from that never made it to the Iranian regime before October 7th, and even since, it has not been accessed. It is still sitting in a fucking account to this goddamn day.
Iran was broke. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for Hamas.
What kind of money do you need for a Jeep attack with Russian machine guns and machetes? I mean, these guys use their dicks as a weapon more than they used guns in some cases.
And we had no terror. You know, I always wanted to talk about it when I was president. I was 3 years in, 3.5 years in. I said, I want to just brag a little bit. I want to say that we had no terror. There were no terror attacks in 4 years, but I wanted to brag about it. But I wanted to wait till I got out, and now I brag about it all the time.
Oh, so you knew you got out till you got out, did you?
Time. We had very few terrorists allowed into our country.
How do you know? What do you mean very few?
We had a year 20 where the charts come out, how many terrorists enter the country. Now, I think they're wrong.
This whole, there were 0.
Because I can't believe it, but they actually had no terrorists. 0 terrorists came in 2019. That was a Trump year. Now we have thousands and thousands of terrorists pouring into our country.
And yet they're not attacking anyone. These are the worst terrorists ever.
From all over the world, and they're the worst terrorists in the world.
Yeah, because they're terrible at terror.
They're the biggest and the worst.
They're the biggest and the worst, but they haven't done anything.
And we got them living in our country.
Yes, apparently they've retired from terrorism, and they're working at Doral.
They actually put down 2019, Trump, no terrorists, 0. I don't believe that, but that's what they have. And that was.
Yeah, your people didn't count anyone. They just assumed no one came in, and they just lied about the numbers. Even you don't believe it.
It was done by Border Patrol and others, State Department. I'll take it.
So you just stopped counting.
I don't believe it, but it was very close to nothing, and they actually have 0 terrorists came into our country. We were tough on it, and we would not have Russian...
How tough? So tough you didn't count no terrors? No terrors? No Earths?
warships and nuclear submarines surrounding Cuba 60 miles off our coast. You know that, right? For all of you people in Cuba, congratulations. You're now being protected by Russia. Congratulations.
Are you? By that sub that's missing panels on it? Hold on. Wait. Let's see. Russian sub Cuba damaged, I guess, would be the thing. Yeah, here's one. Here you go. This was kind of one of my favorite parts of this whole thing. There you go. A Russian submarine that just left Cuba appears to be falling apart with its soundproofing panels falling off, analysts say. Hold on, I think that, yeah, there they are. Look at that right there. They're just falling off. Here, 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 here. The Kazan submarine appears to have visible damage, including panels falling off. Military experts told BI the damage is common and shouldn't affect the sub's performance. One of Russia's newest and most advanced submarines, which just left Cuba, appears to be falling apart and to have damage to its hull, an open source intelligence analyst said. Marcus, sure. Managing consultant at Capgemini shared 4 photos of the nuclear-powered Kazan in a LinkedIn post on Monday. He said it appeared the sub's soundproofing panels were falling off on the front of the submarine's hull. He said that would make the vessel very loud underwater and compromise its stealth capabilities. While docked, Russian divers were seen around the sub, presumably trying to repair the tin hub. Also, I think this is the other one. A Russian submarine mission to Cuba backfires, exposes secrets to U.S. The voyage of the Russian naval team to Cuba was a vital propaganda success for the Kremlin. Widely publicized, it became an opportunity for an acoustic hunt for the Kazan submarine Project 885M. Russian commentators argued that sending one of Russia's most advanced submarines on this mission was a mistake. The Kremlin's propaganda presented the Russian squadron's visit to Cuba from June 12th to 17th, it's over now, of course, as a significant success. However, the real importance of the voyage of just 2 warships, the Kazan submarine and the Admiral Gorshkov frigate, I'll go ahead and frigate, accompanied by a tugboat and a tanker, is debatable, especially since the price Russian paid for a few days of propaganda glory may prove to be very high. Western Russian commentators like Alexander Timochin from the topwire.ru service note this point. With the information about the Russian ship's voyage, a specific hunt began in the Atlantic. Knowing the Russian ship's destinations, the United States made efforts not only to track their location above all, but to gather as much data as possible about the Kazan submarine. There it is. This was enabled by continuous patrols of American Canadian maritime reconnaissance aircraft such as the P-8 Poseidon and the P-3 Orion, which apart from the radars had had a set of hydroacoustic buoys. These sensors, both active and passive, were dropped from the aircraft and used to detect submerged submarines. The acoustic signature, they found out what it is, so now if it's in the sea, they know how to find it, because these people are fucking stupid. It has a high level of noise at higher speeds. We also know this. It's fucking dumb.
Can you imagine
Yes.
that the press...
I can imagine you thinking that's a great idea, because you're a fucking moron.
The fake news, those people, they don't even
Yes, we dropped a Baba Booey. That's right.
talk about. We have nuclear submarines and 5 warships in Cuba, and they don't...
No, we don't. They're not there anymore. And as you just saw, there was 1 frigate, 1 sub, and the assumption would be is that the Kazan would be nuclear armed, but it's nuclear powered and is not armed currently, because that would be a provocation, blah, blah, blah. But so they've sent it on an exercise. They removed the nukes from it. Allegedly. That's what they're supposed to do anyways. And a tugboat and another boat. That's it.
Don't even talk about it. If that happened to
They
me
didn't talk about it because it's not true.
as president, it would be the biggest story every single day. But they don't talk about it because they're fake and corrupt news.
Or because it wouldn't be true and it's over. And we learned how to track their best sub.
When I was in the White House, I canceled Barack Hussein Obama's deal with the Cuban dictatorship and reimposed tough sanctions on that regime. They were ready to break. They were all set, and then we had the election taken away, robbed.
What do you mean they were ready to break? They never did before. We literally took this like we took this path under Obama because it never worked. They didn't give a shit. They were completely happy being isolated. You pushed them back into Russia's arms. Almost quite literally.
Rigged. Joe Biden has gone weak and soft on Cuban communists. As you know better than anybody, so many of you here.
Yeah, you're all Cuban communists.
And he's abandoned the brave Cuban dissidents while the Cuban people are suffering, starving, and dying. In Cuba, would have been all solved very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. All he had to do is not give up after the election, just like the Iranian deal. 2 weeks after, they were all set to go. You could have signed a deal. You could have made it happen. But you decided, you know what? Fuck Americans. I hope they die at the hands of Iranian or Cuban terrorists or militias or whatever the fuck you think is actually the attack point. You're just like, screw it. We could fix this. I could have had a deal with them, and the next president would have had to keep it and something. I don't know. But fuck them. I hope they kill the lot of you, apparently was his response.
As president, I will again stand with the people of Cuba in their long quest for justice, liberty, and freedom.
How?
In my next term, we will build a great iron dome over our country, a dome like has never been seen before.
Yeah, you do you don't mean a real, not real iron, right? You realize you don't see, you don't even see the Israeli Iron Dome, dummy, until it's in use, and even then, it's invisible. It's not an actual dome. You know that, right? You're not going to build a giant like cake cloche over the whole fucking country. Like, it's bad enough you want to turn us into a walled community, much less a domed community. What?
A state-of-the-art missile defense shield that will be
visible from space.
Entirely made in the USA, right here in your state.
No, there's not. They're not going to make a giant rocket system in our in Florida. Florida won't be the state that makes it. There's probably be, if you make any of this shit, it's going to be like Tennessee and Oklahoma and fucking Montana and South Carolina be a big one because they have a big bunch of military shit there.
Right here in Florida. Well,
no, not there in Florida. Not at all. Where are you going to make? Where's the missile factory in Florida? Go ahead.
Build it.
Where is it? Right? Is it right near Doral? Is that the sound we've heard? Is the Miami Dome? Is that what we're hearing go overhead during this stupid shit?
A big section. You have a lot of defense. We moved a lot of companies into Florida for.
No, you didn't.
Defense purposes.
No, you didn't.
I will not.
No, you didn't. No, not at all.
Not cut 1 penny from Social Security or Medicare, and I will not raise the retirement age by 1 day. Biden is going to do that because he's allowing these people that come in to go on to Social Security and Medicare, to go into the hospitals. And, we want to be nice. But no country can sustain this. No country can sustain.
Okay, first of all, they don't get Social Security in that situation. We don't pay for that through Medicare. These are like emergency funds anyways. And secondly, a lot of workers who work under the table, especially undocumented people, pay into Social Security using fake Social Security numbers, and they never draw it down. They were a crucial part of keeping it afloat at one point.
I kept that promise for 4 straight years, and I will keep it again.
Because it's not a real thing. Yeah, it's like, I will make sure the sky stays above us and the ground below. It didn't move the whole time I was president. Stop right there and I'll bring back the sun. Right.
We have plenty of other resources. We're not going to touch Social Security or Medicare.
That's how you know he's going to touch Social Security and Medicare. I'm just saying.
If the millions of Biden migrants became citizens, Medicare and Social Security
would have a group of young people paying into it, contributing to it, to make up for the disparity and sort of the population of baby boomers who are retiring right now and Gen X.
They'll be gone. They'll be gone. They'll be gone. We're going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they have ever been before. That's right. Better than Bakersfield.
Your daughters will be as safe as they are in West Palm Beach. Okay, bad example. Your families will be as safe per capita as they are in any of the great red states like Louisiana or cities run by people like Kevin McCarthy.
We will take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., and clean it up, renovate it, and rebuild our capital city so that it's no longer a nightmare of murder and crime.
Okay, first of all, I don't know how buildings and clean streets stop people from murdering, unless they're just, oh my God, these gleaming streets. I can't focus on who was I going to kill? I can't even remember. But on top of that, it sounds a bit like he's planning on giving his friends a bunch of contracts to like buy up property in DC and create a bunch of LLCs. Most of them, I'm sure, with foreign links to invest in the buildings around there.
But rather it will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world.
It's pretty great now. It is, I gotta say.
Right now, if you leave Florida, oh, let's go, darling. Let's look at the Jefferson Memorial. Let's look at the Washington Monument.
Yeah, done those things in the last couple of years a couple of times. It's pretty great.
Let's go and look at some of the beautiful scenes, and you end up getting shot, mugged, raped.
In that order?
We're going to take over our capital, and we're going to run it tough and smart.
But by Jefferson?
And we're going to beautify it. We're going to get all the graffiti off the marble. We're going to fix the roads and the medians, which are falling down all over.
The medians. And this weird fixation that there's like some construction going on.
Over the street.
That when he was there, and he's like, what are these medians? These plastic median barriers that they put up while they're fixing the trees. It's awful.
We're going to make our capital beautiful again. We're going to do the same thing with our cities, even though Democrat run. We're going to work with Democrat governors and mayors if we have.
No, you're not. You said you were going to take over.
On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children.
All right, so the kids are not going to learn about Jeffrey Epstein and your lifelong friendship with him. Okay, I think that's appropriate. I mean, kids got enough to think about. They don't need to have that in their lives, sure.
And I will not give one penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate.
All schools have vaccine mandates. Otherwise, our children would be dying of measles and whooping cough, you absolute dickhead. This is Trump 2024. Bring back fucking malaria and polio.
And I will...
Yeah, D.C. is actually great. It's a great city.
Keep men out of women's sports. Can you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine you trying to be in women's sports and losing.
Can you imagine even having to say that? I will fully uphold the Second Amendment. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore...
Unless they're shot, of course. They're going to protect innocent life unless it's from a gun. Which, I mean, hey, you can't have an omelet without breaking some eggs. It's just how it
Free
works.
speech in our country.
Oh, yeah? So even an asshole, like, adjudicated rapist will have the ability to talk into a microphone in front of a large group of people? That's the kind of freedom we're shooting for.
And I will secure our elections once and for all.
How?
And I will secure our elections once and for all. Our goal will be...
Once for oral. Ew.
One-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and voter ID. Very simple.
Yeah, very simple. All you got to do is give everyone in the country who's a citizen voter ID for free, so it can't be taken away, and because they have the right to vote. There you go.
But until then, Republicans must win. You must get out and vote. We want a landslide, and let's call it this: too big to rig. Too big to rig. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why you're going to lose. That's what Rovember will be about.
Look at all the front row Joes. Oh, wow.
Hey, wow, look at this row of insane people that show up at all my things. So good to see you guys. You don't make me feel like my following is full of fucking wackadoodles at all. Nice brick suit, crazy guy. Your makeup's running. Jesus Christ. Is this the most unfuckable row of people I've ever seen? It's like a crazy person, and in England, it's all 2s and 3s.
Wow, they've been to like 200 rallies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not printing any new front row Joes.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have you.
It is. It's not nuts at all. It's not really fucking weird.
Great. It's a great honor. These are real patriots.
Oh yeah, real patriots, like the ones at Waco and the people that hid Timothy McVeigh.
Make a lot of money, I guess, because they're at every rally.
they must be doing just fine in Biden's economy. I live off my dividends. They're amazing. Shut the fuck up.
I go to California, I have a rally, I have the front row Joes there. If you took the 10
Yeah, they're lunatics. We know.
worst presidents in the history of the United States and added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to our country as Joe Biden and the Biden.
They wouldn't do near the destruction that I've done to Wyoming. You're my favorite. I'm Harriet Hagman, and I approve this rally rant. Sorry.
Biden administration has done. Think of it. I used to say 5. Remember, 6 months ago I'd say 5 words. I added 10.
And let the media the media talk about Biden's problems.
Hold on. Back the fuck up. What happened?
And let the media talk about Biden's problems.
Oh, it jumped back to the beginning. Hold on.
In Cuba would have been all American patriots who gave their blood. We are a
here we go.
It's counted. You can do that. Follow that vote because these people cheat like nobody's ever cheated before.
Well, if they cheat like nobody's ever cheated before and they're in charge, you're fucked, dude. There's no way you can win. It's impossible. If they cheated last time when they were out of power and they're in power now, you're done. Pack it up. I would flee the country, clearly. I mean, if I wasn't you, in which case I would be blazingly full of shit. So,
frankly, they're no good at policy, but they're good at cheating. And if you want,
then I guess you're done.
Want to
because they're pretty fucking good at policy.
Help us ensure election integrity. Sign up at protectthevote.com.
Yeah, it makes you an investor in 2,000 mules, and your money just catches fire.
So, in conclusion,
thank you.
From
Thank
Jacksonville to Miami,
you,
from Tampa to Tallahassee,
to Wyoming. You're so handsome. You're handsome. Or my name isn't Harriet Hagman.
From the beautiful place that I know very well, destined to right here in Doral, we inherit the legacy of generations of American
from Mar-a-Lago to Jeffrey Epstein's house, which is like 6 minutes in an Uber.
Patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears.
You could walk it if you weren't a lazy fuck like him.
To defend our country and our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who...
Right, that's how you treat your heroes.
Crossed the ocean, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up those great, beautiful skyscrapers.
The Chinese?
Won 2 world wars. And from right here in this beautiful state, launched our brave American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the face of the moon. Together they made...
Which is, based on, from NASA, which is a program that Republicans, half of them want to shut it down, and the other half want to shut it down because they think it's a fucking Freemason plot to make the Earth not look flat.
Made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world.
Well, someday maybe we'll meet somebody and all that'll change. We don't have to be single forever, America. Oh, shit. Just standing there like a dickhead. Don't forget, when the music starts, just stand there like Hitler for a minute. It builds tension. It doesn't look awkward or stupid at all. People love it. And, you know, the thing they love the most is that it's royalty-free music. And you're a goddamn lunatic. Again, what the fuck are you waiting for? The cycle of the riff to come back around so that the lyrics match up? It's like church for people who don't believe in anything and are just assholes.
But now we are a nation in decline.
Fuck you.
We are a failing nation.
We are Wyoming! Oh, sorry. Sorry. Sing it, baby.
We are a nation that has the highest inflation in 50 years.
Yeah, and the lowest of any of the G7 countries. We just came out of a pandemic.
Where banks are collapsing.
No, they are not. That's a talking point from a regional bank from 2 years ago that was caused by crypto, you dumb fuck.
And interest rates are skyrocketing.
No, they're not. They're stable and they're going down. We're just waiting to see when the Fed feels comfortable with the jobs numbers enough to lower it by a quarter basis point, which will send the stock market even fucking higher because everybody will say, that's it, we're going for it. And that's right. No.
Likewise, we are a nation where energy costs have reached the highest levels in our history.
And then gone back down.
We are no longer energy independent or
yes, we are.
Energy dominant.
Yes, we are.
As we were just a few short years ago.
When no one was going anywhere. By the way, can I, real quick, I know we're in the middle of, you know, the fucking cult part of this, but there was news today. I just thought, while this motherfucker's messing around, Biden signs a big nuclear bill. Can it remake the industry? It is now up to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to accelerate the next generation of reactors. We've solved a lot of the problems we had with the early reactors, and one of them is don't put them in an earthquake zone. And a lot of them have been running just fucking fine. As a matter of fact, I would argue that at the dump sites where we've been putting stuff, they should just put another reactor nearby and just. You don't have to transport it. Just put it right in the fucking hole and then use the smart grid to send the electricity all over the country. But anyways, this is, you can run factories with nuclear power. I'm just saying. Just saying. By the way, all Republicans want this. And most Democrats know that this is, that's why Europeans call it a renewable source because it is. It's greener. It doesn't produce carbon dioxide, that kind of stuff. The earth creates toxins that are far worse than anything produced in a nuclear reactor. We just got to dispose of it properly. Just saying. And this motherfucker's like, we need to burn more dead dinosaur goo.
We are a nation that is begging Venezuela and others for oil.
No, we are not.
Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says. And yet we have more liquid gold under our feet.
Yeah, we're not asking Venezuela for oil at all. We don't use any of the oil they make at all.
Than any other country anywhere in the world. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia
will rip it to This is maybe we'll get to find out what he actually was fucking saying when he tried this.
Heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will rip it to will be reducing their oil production while at the same time substantially increasing the price. And we met that threat by announcing that we will no longer be drilling for oil in large areas of Alaska and elsewhere in our precious land.
Wait, he just egged. That was what this was. Hold on, this was.
Heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat
that whole chunk was summed up in.
Heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat
All right, that was. Well,
heard that Saudi.
Yeah. So hold on one second. Where am I?
We are a nation that is considered and consumed.
Considered and consumed
by the radical left's Green New Deal. Yet everyone knows
we're considered by it and consumed. We're considered and consumed. Great.
That the Green New scam is fake and will lead only.
So it's a fake scam. So it's real. Because a real scam would be fake, but a fake scam would be real. Not a fake. It's the scam part is fake, so the rest of it must be real. Gotcha.
To our destruction. We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all electric cars, despite the fact that they don't go far.
Yeah, fuck you, Elon Musk.
Cost too much.
Yeah, fuck you, Elon Musk.
And whose batteries are produced in China with.
Yeah, fuck you, Elon. That's kind of true. At least for the Teslas.
Materials only available in China.
Does this motherfucker think lithium is only available in China? Salt flats? Anybody?
When an unlimited amount of gasoline is available inexpensively in the United States?
No, it's limited. There's definitely, and it's not. You do realize gasoline doesn't come out of the ground, right?
But not available in China. And now we are a nation that wants to make our revered and very powerful army tanks, the best in the world, all electric.
Oh, you mean silent?
So that despite the fact that they are also not able to go far, fewer pollutants will be released into the air as we blast our way through enemy territory.
Silently? You do realize, like, can you imagine the horror of seeing tanks coming and they just go, and instead of you can hear them miles away because of giant diesel engines?
In an environmentally friendly way. And they also want to make our great jet fighters with a green stamp of energy savings, though losing 15% efficiency.
Because they are 60% more efficient than any other fighter on the planet. So they would be silent and electric too and leave no heat trail.
But allowing us to keep our enemy's atmosphere clean of emissions as we viciously and unceremoniously attack them at levels never seen before.
All right, look, are we a bunch of pussies with electric jets, or are we wiping them out? You can't make both get, like, they want to make our jets all electric and increasingly deadly.
Who are these people? Who are these fools that would do this to us?
No one. You're making this up.
Who are these people who would ruin our country? We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States.
No, we didn't. There's 9,000 unused leases.
Just as the price of oil reached an all-time high, what other country would do such a stupid thing, a foolish thing?
Well, I think a country that is technically still in the middle of a pandemic and that the exploration was largely stopped because all business was shut down.
And self-destruct itself just like we've done for 4 years.
Really? We've self-destructed ourselves with an infrastructure bill and the greatest contribution to climate and removing lead pipes again, rural broadband.
Can we be energy independent?
Yes, we already are.
And even energy dominant again?
We already are.
Yes, oh yes, and quickly, says President Trump.
Says? Fuck me. Yes, oh yes, and quickly says President Trump.
Dominant again Yes, oh yes, and quickly, says President Trump.
Says. It's how it's spelled. Hey, give it up for him. That's how it's S-A-Y-S. It says President Trump. Go ahead and says it. Feel free to says it at your heart's content. I don't know. Just says it. Says what you want, but don't make any fucking sense. Now says what you want, but be a dumbass like Donald Trump, 'cause says. All right.
Yes, oh yes, and we will do it quickly.
Yes, oh yes, and we will do it quickly.
We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving dead soldiers, American citizens.
No, we didn't. We didn't leave anyone. People died there, but we didn't leave them. Fuck you.
And $85 billion worth
No, we didn't.
of the finest military equipment
That America can shred because we literally left them scrap metal.
anywhere in the world. We left it behind, and also abandoned.
Then why isn't it showing up on the battlefield anywhere? Real quick. That's you know what? Fuck that. Let me just interrupt right here with a new point, considering we're hearing the same old fucking lies. Why, if we left the best shit behind, is none of it showing up coming at us from anywhere else or at our allies? Why were if we dropped all that shit in Afghanistan, the Taliban was there to pick it up, why the fuck are the guns in Gaza or in Sudan or any of the other hot spots everywhere, or even the fucking Russians themselves, why aren't those guns coming towards the people we support? Why is it all Russian weaponry? If we gave all that shit to Afghanistan and they're friendly with Iran, why is Iran sending these shit ass Shahed drones that sound like a fucking go-kart in the sky if they have $85 billion of the highest tech shit we've ever had? Where is it? Right? Where the fuck is it? Where is this stuff? Where are the Taliban guys with the night vision goggles that are fucking right out of the, the cutting edge of shit? Where? We haven't seen any of it. Were they waiting for the big attack? They're just going to use all the shitty rifles from Russia until they run out of Russian ammunition, which is what, 5.56? It's the same shit we use. What are they waiting for? Where are these planes? Why are they not on the battlefield? Why is the Taliban not securing parts of the country that have gone rogue or expanding its border with Pakistan or Iran using the airplanes and the bombers and all the shit we supposedly left behind? Where? Where is it? Where the fuck is it? I don't know why it took me this long to bring this part of it up. I think it's because the lies are so dumb. We haven't even gotten to this part of how, like, we've covered how dumb it is for so long that we've gotten to, like, okay, this is even dumber than we initially thought.
Bagram, one of the biggest military bases anywhere.
You can't leave and stay, you dumb motherfucker. We can't keep Bagram and leave.
Where in the world?
If this motherfucker says we should have exited through Bagram and instead of having people drive 4 blocks from the embassy to the airport, to instead have them drive through areas that ISIS-K controlled down a 2-lane highway in the middle of the fucking desert, shipping civilians and all kinds of people through that desert. If he, whatever.
And
he's brought it up before. I don't know if he has the guts to bring it up here.
Only 1
It's so
hour
dumb.
away from where China makes its nuclear weapons.
Yeah, we have satellites, you dumb motherfucker. What do you think we're gonna do? Bomb their nuclear weapon facility when the missiles are in the air?
And we are a nation that allowed Russia, Ukraine to fight, killing hundreds of thousands.
Sorry, we should have, nuked Russia the minute they attacked? Hey, we can't allow Russia to attack. Everybody's dead.
Thousands of people, and it will only get worse.
For Russia.
It would never.
Yes, Russia's fucked. Yeah, you're right. It's only going to get worse for Russia. There is no upside. Russia's fucked. If you don't believe me, look at their caloric intake and how many potatoes the Russian people are buying. Go look it up. Go look it up. Russian people are buying a shit ton of empty calories. And the more potato, like the less money they have to spend, the more potatoes they buy because it's empty calories. And they have been like tripling how many potatoes they've been buying over the last 8 to 10 months. They're fucked.
Never have happened with me as your president. And
because you would have just given them Ukraine.
For 4 straight years, it didn't happen.
Unless you're a Kurd. In which case, you're dead now.
Likewise, the horrifying attack on Israel would have never happened.
Again, prove a negative, you dumb motherfucker.
They wouldn't even have thought of doing such a thing if President...
They literally planned it while he was president because he moved the embassy and because he declared Jerusalem the capital of Israel. That's why they did it. That's Yahweh Sinwar said this. Like from that date forward, they pretended to actually be at peace, and they called Netanyahu up and said, let's give a conditional ceasefire a shot, and they manipulated the entire conversation because they were planning on this. He said so after the attack. It was caused by the recognition of the Golan Heights, the Jerusalem move, and the embassy.
President Trump was in the Oval Office. Iran was broke under the Trump administration.
No, they weren't. The $6 billion I already pointed out happened because Donald Trump gave Iran a pass to sell to North Korea and 5 other countries.
They didn't have the money to
South
fund
Korea.
Hamas, Hezbollah, and all of the other instruments of terror that they use.
Also, what kind of funding do you need for an attack like October 7th? Like they didn't fucking hijack airliners and crash them into high-rises, you dumb motherfucker.
But those sanctions were lifted by a corrupt Biden administration. And now Iran is a rich country with $250 billion.
Nope.
Think of that.
I'm thinking of it. You're just jealous, but no, they don't.
Iran now has, from nothing, they were broke.
No, they weren't. As a matter of fact, Betsy DeVos was selling them office equipment, you dumb motherfucker. You made her your Secretary of Education.
They now have $250 billion.
Again, he's like, maybe I could build a Trump Tower Tehran.
$6 billion they also got for hostages. $6 billion.
First of all, they didn't get it. And secondly, what the fuck does $6 billion mean if you've got 250? Who gives a shit?
And for electricity to Iraq, they were given $10 billion, all compliments of an incompetent Biden
So 16 out of 250, and you think they needed that money?
administration.
Also, your buddy Putin's been buying military equipment for them and multitudes of those billions of dollars, way more than the electricity from the dam that Iraq has access to.
And China with Taiwan is next. We are
Nope.
a nation that allows radical left terrorists to violently attack our cities, leaving behind massive destruction and death.
Oh, you mean like Jan 6th? Or
And nothing happens to the criminals that do.
yeah, well, a bunch of the Antifa people that burned shit and did stuff went to jail. They're continuing to put people like that in jail, just like the Jan 6ers. And I say to both of those groups, fuck you.
These terrible things, there is no punishment. But when people who love our country protest on January 6th in
Yeah, you got to beat a cop, though.
Washington, they become hostages unfairly imprisoned for long periods of time.
No, they're not hostages. They're criminals, and you'll learn what their fate is like soon enough.
But fortunately, the Supreme Court has just ruled, and they should be out soon.
Nope, they're not coming out. And this is, like Klaatu was saying, is this church music? This is not church music. This is, like royalty-free church-ish music. It's like hypnotism music more than anything else. They're not coming home. No. The Jan 6, he's not going to pardon them, and they're not getting out. I'm just telling you. And even the ones that case affected, they were only prosecuted because they did a bunch of other violent shit. Otherwise, they went home.
We are a third world nation that has
No, we're not. Fuck you.
weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party.
The opposee? You're a little flower, are you? You're the opposee? Sorry, 1 second.
That has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like
The opposee?
never seen before in our country.
Yeah, like nobody's ever seen anything like this before.
We've got a
Mainly because it isn't happening.
Federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, and
Bad election-changing... Hold on.
that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public.
Yeah, because they're not... Bad facts would be lies, I think.
And which offers $1 million to a writer of fiction about Donald Trump to lie and to say it was fact. Where Hunter Biden's
I think that he means Christopher Steele.
laptop from hell was Russian disinformation.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
And the FBI knew
There is no Hunter Biden laptop. The Hunter Biden laptop that even the FBI guys reference or the IRS guys reference is one that Hunter Biden himself turned over through his attorneys when they subpoenaed it, not the alleged one from the fucking John Paul McIsaac bullshit story.
it was.
Just saying. Fuck you.
But 51 intelligence agents said it was, and a Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a...
Well, if they did, they just put a bunch of your followers in jail. They have investigated a bunch of people for voting twice or voting for dead people. All of them Trump voters. Sorry.
man who is totally corrupt, totally incompetent, and
So if he's incompetent and corrupt, that means he's accidentally a good guy. All right.
the worst president in the history of our country,
Oh, he's talking about himself. I see. Yeah, this is says Donald Trump.
who is cognitively impaired and is a president who is not legally allowed to stand trial because he is mentally incompetent,
So, say this is your new defense?
but he is allowed to become the president of the United States again, and he is in no condition to lead, and
Yeah, he is. He's allowed. He will be. Yeah, absolutely.
is now in charge of dealing with Russia and China
Yes, all the people you were trying to make money off of.
and all of these countries
All of them.
on possible nuclear war. He
Yes, possible nuclear war or the aversion thereof.
has no clue what he's doing or
Well, then maybe we'll just accidentally fall, on the side of it. He seems to be stumbling into really good, economic numbers. Maybe he'll do the same thing with nuclear. He'll accidentally hit the shut down all nukes button.
where he is. And next will be World War III.
All right, well, it would have to be because we've already had World War II, and we're not going to just jump to 4. What kind of an asshole would do that?
Because he doesn't know what he's doing. And this will be a war more devastating than any of the other wars. It will be a war like no other because
Yeah, I know. There'll be the T-1000 will probably show up. Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 will, obviously predate that a little bit, but they'll confront each other in the time span at some point. You'll have to. I mean, I don't know. You're going to have to ask Edward Furlong. He's got it all worked out.
of the weaponry that no one wants to even think about or ever talk about.
Nope, I'm not going to think or talk about it at all. I have one of their special rays right here. It's very scary. They shoot you with this, and it's like you're surrounded by Trump's breath. Yeah.
We are a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is all you get. And
Yeah, it's all you get. That's just the people filming him that are showing this like Newsmax without editing it, without fact checking it. This is fake news. You're absolutely right. If he points at the cameras that are filming him and he's lying, that's fake news. Good point. Excellent
They
point.
are in-
A broken clock moment for Donald Trump.
indeed the enemy of the people.
Yes. But where is Melania while you bring it up?
They refuse to discuss the Biden crime family but enjoy covering the false indictments of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I take issue with the word false, but certainly it's bigger news.
Who has done nothing wrong except win an election against.
Well, I mean, you're a rapist. That I consider that wrong. Look, maybe your people don't. You're in Florida, surrounded by your type, and maybe that's what he's done nothing wrong. That's what women have coming. I get it. That is MAGA's position. Sure.
Hillary Clinton.
The what with Hillary Clinton? Hold on.
Who has done nothing wrong except win an election against crooked Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, you think they're grinding on that. That's why they're coming. Biden's coming after you because you beat Hillary Clinton. You did lose the popular vote, though. So maybe that's what. Maybe that's why they're coming after you. You won the electoral college, but you lost the the popular vote, and they're just mad about that.
We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, and where
well then close his mic. How are you talking in front of a large group of people? Maybe this is all CGI.
crime is rampant and out of control like never before.
Well, it is Florida. I mean, you're surrounded by naked meth head alligator fuckers.
We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon and
no, you did that.
China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars it has taken from us to build a military to rival our own.
Yeah, not so much. It kind of sucks. It's not great.
And less than 4 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, all in check.
Well, no, you were partnering with them.
They respected us. They were afraid of us. They weren't going to do a thing against us.
They were. What do you mean? Do you think the Chinese military just started growing in the last 3 years? You think they paused the expansion of the Chinese military or any of them?
And everyone knows it.
Nobody believes that shit.
Now Russia and China are holding summits to carve up the rest of the world.
Yeah, good luck. Have fun with South Korea, with South Africa and India's kind of playing both sides of the fence or whatever. And Brazil, yeah, kill it.
And perhaps most importantly, we are a nation that is no longer admired, respected, or listened to on the world stage. They just aren't.
Yeah, we kind of are. I mean, our president did get a standing ovation from all the NATO partners, and we do have the best economy on the planet post-COVID, period.
We are a nation.
We also have 3 of the other biggest economies. Besides our own, one of our, 2 of our industries themselves, namely like Apple and Nvidia, in they're bigger economies in those companies than most countries on the planet, and we also have California and New York. So,
in fact, that in many ways has become a joke.
Well, he says that because when he picks up the phone and calls world leaders, they laugh in his fucking face.
And we are a nation.
You promised me a building. Ha ha ha. Click. Yeah.
That is hostile to liberty, freedom, faith, and even to God.
That's right. That's why you're doing this live from a prison cell right now, and it's all CGI.
We are a nation whose economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin.
Our economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin. I mean, that's pretty direct. Let's see. Let's see what the Dow says there. Yeah. The Dow's at 39,721 right now. Look at all that green, by the way. Apple, even Bitcoin. Your buddies. RTX is down. Doge is up. I'm sure Elon Musk likes that. Let's see. Maybe you know what? Maybe it's specific to stock price today. Oh yeah. Now I can see why. That's probably why he thinks this. Yeah. It's definitely shit the bed time. What's the let's see, the summary, the financials. Let's see. This is the range on this. That's 1 day. Looks like 5 days. That's pretty bad. How about a month? There you go. Hold on. Let me slide this fucker up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's it's not good right there. What's this? Okay, let's get that out of there. This is the type. Okay, there's a month. 3 months has got to be up some, right? Yeah, because it went up and then it went back down again. So this is when it started, essentially, right before it began. And then But hey, at least the people who bought in here lost everything. So, that's good. But the last month has been fucking spectacular. Like, look at that. That didn't hurt at all. What is it? 28.80. There you go. In the past month, it's down 31.58%. I can understand why you're playing the sad, the white boy blues music.
Whose supply chain is broken, whose
No, it isn't.
stores are not stocked,
Yeah, they are. Seriously. Overstock is kind of the problem.
whose deliveries are not coming, and whose
That's sad. Yeah. You know who I feel bad for? Porch pirates. It's a fading industry.
educational system is ranked at the very bottom of
Well, he is in Florida, so we'll give him, again, broken clock moment.
every single list. We are a nation that just sold a
Thank you so much. Hold on. From Australia, Edzi Kuta. I can't read it on there because it's very small. Edzi, yeah, thank you so much. Love what you do, Hal. Your hard work doesn't go unappreciated. Enjoy your streams because you dissect and explain in detail for us dum-dums. I watch from Australia. Well, thank you for doing that. Appreciate you. And I'm glad to do it. And I'll keep doing it as long as I can. If you want to get out of here, you follow me.
once great company, United States Steel, to Japan.
No, we're not. Hold on. If I may. Hold on. Two things. One there. Let me show you this in a second. And then, let's see. Let's try this guy. And we'll try this guy. And then we'll go to... by the way, you'll be familiar. Let's see. For a deal for Iconic. That's April. Okay, it's basically frozen in place. But here you go. This would be the Washington Examiner, big paper that's a big, huge fan of Donald Trump's. You'll recall. Yeah, remember that paper? The ones who paid Christopher Steele first before anybody else. That was Washington Free Beacon. You're right. Washington Examiner's the other one. They're a big MAGA company. Restoring America is the name of their thing. The bad economics behind Biden's Nippon Steel opposition. In December, Japanese steelmaker Nippon Steel offered to pay $15 billion for Pittsburgh-based U.S. Steel. A new report first obtained by the Washington Examiner shows that the deal will revitalize American manufacturing, save jobs, and help our steel industry compete with that of China. Despite these clear benefits, President Joe Biden has said he will block the deal. Here are 3 reasons why Biden's opposition is based on politics and not reality. And by the way, Trump is against it as well. But do they mention that? No. First, Biden's opposition is a direct rebuke of Donald Trump's economic agenda. No, it isn't, because he's also against it. Despite U.S. Steel's financial woes, Nippon wants to pay a premium for the company because the Trump tax cuts incentivize foreign direct investment. The Trump tax cuts were there so that foreign companies could buy American companies. That's Maganomics. Great. Also, by the way, can I just show you something else real quick? How about this? And again, China money. U.S. tightens tariffs on for Mexican metal imports. Well, why would that be? The U.S. announced new rules for targeting firms from China and other countries, mainly China, that are routing shipments of steel and aluminum through Mexico to try and evade tariffs, because there is a huge fucking loophole in the USMCA that allows them to do that. The White House said firms shipping via Mexico must now prove the origins of their product if they want to avoid the border taxes. Here's another one. U.S. imposes stiff tariffs on Chinese steel shipped through Mexico. Same story, different direct take, better headline to get that point across, if I may. Let me scroll this down. There you go. Authorities in the United States and Mexico announced measures Wednesday aimed at curbing imports of metals from China and other countries that ship products through Mexico to circumvent tariffs. The White House said that under a new policy implemented by Joe Biden and Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, steel and aluminum products imported from Mexico will be subject to a 25% U.S. Section 232 tariff unless the steel is documented to have been melted down and poured in Mexico, the U.S., or Canada, hence the USMCA. United States and Mexico are taking key measures today to protect the North American steel and aluminum markets from unfair trade, said Biden and López Obrador said in a joint statement issued by the White House. Both countries will implement policies to jointly prevent tariff evasion on steel and aluminum and strengthen North American steel and aluminum supply chains from Mexico and America and Canada. Again, this is just fucking old bullshit.
We are a nation whose stock
Japan has not bought Nippon Steel yet, or Nippon Steel has not bought U.S. Steel yet.
market's continued success,
If they even will be able to. The deal is blocked.
is continued and contingent on MAGA winning the next election.
Is continued and contingent. It's...
Continue
Hold on.
sold a once great company, United States Steel, to Japan. We are a nation whose stock market's continued success is continued and contingent on MAGA winning the next election. If MAGA doesn't
No, it isn't. Why would it be?
win the next election, you will have a 1929 type depression.
No, you won't.
We're a nation where large packs of sadistic criminals and thieves are allowed to go into stores and openly rob them, beat up and kill their workers and customers, and leave with armloads of goods.
No, technically, I don't know if he's trying to inspire people in his crowd to go do this, but that's technically illegal. You'll go to jail.
With no retribution, with
No, it's a punishment. I don't know. It technically qualifies as retribution. That seems kind of biblical, but
the authority of our great police has been taken, where their families and pensions have been threatened, and their lives would be destroyed for the mere mention of the words law enforcement.
no, I think they're allowed. I think actually they say that every time they're questioned about anything. They literally have to say that they're part of law enforcement. Yeah, that's their job. They can say it. They can't beat the fuck out of somebody who doesn't have it coming, I think, and then hope to get away with it like maybe they used to.
We are a nation where fentanyl and all other forms of illegal drugs are easier to get than groceries to feed our beautiful families and
No, I got to tell you, it isn't. It's I don't know about you, but I'm sure drugs have, the war on drugs made drugs very easy to get. Like one of my first jokes as a teenage comedian was the war on drugs has made drugs cheaper and available on every street corner. I hope they declare a war on tits. I was very proud of that joke, and I still am. But no, it's way easier to get groceries. Way easier.
babies. We have become a drug-infested, crime-ridden nation,
But enough about Don and Eric.
which is incapable of solving even the simplest of problems.
Really, I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe Biden's just busy solving all the really complex ones.
We will institute the powerful death penalty for drug dealers, where each dealer is responsible for the death during their lives of 500 people or more. Mothers will never again be forced to watch their children overdosing and hospitally. And we will never...
Sorry, overdosing and hospitally? Sorry. Where is that?
forced to watch their children overdosing and hospitally.
And hospitally?
Will never again be forced to watch their children overdosing and hospitally.
Yeah. I hate, it's really bad when children overdose on hospitally.
And we will never allow mothers to watch their child hopelessly dying in their arms, screaming, "What can I do? What can I do? Help me,
How about Narcan?
God, what can I do?" We are a nation
What are you going to do? Tell them to shut up?
whose once revered airports are a dirty, crowded mess.
Oh, by the way, can I just say, he brings this shit up, and we'll get through this. We're almost done. When's the last time this motherfucker was in a public airport? I'm dead serious. When? Even to tour the fucking thing. He lands his planes at private airfields, which are notoriously ass. Some of them have a single nice restaurant, right? Some of the, like Santa Monica Airport has a really nice restaurant attached to it. But The rest of it's just kind of perfunctory. Your car rolls up to the fucking plane and off you go. But like this motherfucker hasn't been in I've been flying all over the fucking place. This weekend, okay, Friday I'm flying from here to Tahoe. I'll do a show, and that night I get on a red eye and fly to Boston, and then I fly back on Sunday from Boston. I was just in Seattle. I was just in fucking Denver. The airports are fucking amazing. Even like Twin Falls, which is a tiny little fucking airport, is really nice. It's clean. It's like they've got great security. I mean, they don't have a snack bar because it's basically a bus stop with planes, but they're way better now. O'Hare, oh my fucking God, Denver's gorgeous. What are you talking about?
You sit and wait for hours and then
no, you don't.
Are notified that the plane won't leave, that they have no idea when they will, where ticket prices have tripled.
No, they haven't.
They don't have the pilots to fly the planes. They don't seek qualified air traffic controllers, and they just don't.
They don't seek qualified air traffic? Is this the Charlie Kirk thing? They're only hiring black people? Is this a DEI thing? Sounds like it.
Know what the hell they're doing. We are a nation.
You don't know what the fuck they're doing. You haven't been to an airport
that screens its citizens viciously at all.
Sorry, it squeens them?
What the hell they're doing. We are a nation that screens its citizens viciously at all ports. But if you are an illegal alien, you are allowed to flow through by the millions and millions right over our southern border.
No, it's by the way, if you fly through a regular airport or you fly into the country and you're an American, you're coming home, if you walk out of the airport, they don't meet you with a bus from Department of Homeland Security and round you up.
We are a nation that has lost its confidence.
No, that's you.
Lost its willpower.
No, we've seen you eat. That's you.
And lost its strength.
No, you never really had any.
We are a nation that has lost its way.
Its Kurds and its way?
But we are not going to allow this horror to continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation.
We still are. Fuck you.
And we will soon be a great nation again.
Yes, because you will no longer be an option to be president.
With the right leadership, every disaster Joe Biden has created can be fixed and quickly.
And quickly, says President Trump.
Every problem can be solved. And
yeah, every problem. By government. And not only by government, one man in government. Yeah, this sounds like a Republican talking point.
Every wrong can be rectified, and it will be rectified very quickly.
Yeah, we rectify those rectified things when they get rectified. They're going to get rectified. People are asking me, can you rectify it? And I'm like, I think so, but I can't see it. Can you trim your nails?
By this time next year, America...
You're going to be rectified when they check your ass at jail.
America's borders will be strong, sealed, and secure. Inflation will be in full retreat. Our economy will...
Our economy? Yeah. Billy Connolly?
Inflation will be in full retreat. Our economy...
Yeah, our economy is doing great. The economy... do-do-do-do-do. Economy. Do-do-do-do. Economy. Boo-boo-do-do-do-do-do.
Secure. Inflation will be in full retreat. Our economy will be at a level that will equal and even surpass what it was 4 years ago.
It already is.
Optimism will be surging. The American dream.
That is too.
Will be thriving again for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Oh, so you're planning on not running? Are you closing down your campaign at this point?
Law and justice will reign all throughout our land.
Yes, when you go to jail. Sure.
Freedom will be restored.
To our economy. Our economy.
Flame of liberty will be burning bright. Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, will be a fading memory of the past, and our great...
You both will, you dumb motherfucker.
silent majority, including the once forgotten men and women of our country,
will be forgotten no longer because I forgot. Why?
will be the one shaping America's magnificent future when I am the 47th President of the United States.
United States. He pronounced that correctly, right? Let's hold on.
And God bless the United States. Because we are all Americans, and together we will show November 5th to be the most important day in the history of America.
No, just it's your last shot to not go to jail, but fuck you.
We are one movement, one people.
Yes, you are definitely one movement away from a full diaper.
One family, and one glorious nation under God.
Which God would that be? I'm guessing it's a golden sculpture of a cow or something.
Together, we will make America powerful again.
Yeah.
We will make America wealthy again.
He's broke and he's mad.
We will make America strong again.
Oh, we can smell you all the way over here.
We will make America proud again.
Yes, once you're gone and we don't have to deal with your dumb ass ever again, it'll be a very proud moment.
We will make America safe again.
From you. Yes, from pussy-grabbing, second-generation rich kids who can fucking fuck up a free lunch so bad they bankrupt a casino.
We will make America free again.
Yeah, well, obviously not for you, because I don't know if it'll be a jail cell or an ankle bracelet, but it's coming, buddy.
And we will make America...
Gravy again?
Great
again.
Thank you, Florida. Thank you very much. Thank you, Miami. God bless everyone. God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless everyone. God bless you all. What's that thing Biden says that's really cool that I can't say, like about the troops? Thank you. Okay, I'm hot. That's it. All right, now I gotta stand up here like a shithead. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you. Jerk off on my chin. Pack, 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 plack, plack. That's it. That's the whole thing. So we made it. Hey, thanks, chat room. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. See you later. I got to go feed my family because this one went long. Oh, God. And I would, if I may, if I could just take a moment to share something with you, chat room. I know there's been a lot of concern lately because if you've lost George Clooney, or it gets very worrisome. Donald Trump is never going to be president again. Just letting you know, it's fucking not happening. Thank you, Peter, for the super chat. Oh my God, bless you. It's not happening. Breathe deep in a way that only people who don't have to sit next to Trump in court can do. And let it out. Have all your senses and all your awareness about the important issues ahead of us. And Trump is not going to be president. Fucking not happening. It ain't happening. I got news for you. He's done. He can't cheat. He can have people that will try to cheat, and they'll get busted. And every time they look and do a recount, they're going to find more Biden votes that some asshole Republican tried to throw down in a garbage can. I'm telling you, ain't happening. I'm just saying that unequivocally. Just letting you know. I want you guys to just enjoy that thought. Just carry it with you. And when you, over the next couple of weeks, as people are like, but, go, fuck you. He's done. And here's why. And the answer to every question about Donald Trump is, oh, you mean Jeffrey Epstein's wingman? Don't you worry your little heads. And I will be up all night on election night with you guys. Again, just like I was last time. It's going to be all right. Feeling all right. Oh. I'm telling you. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Oh, and it's Thursday, but it'll be regular showtime, 3 p.m. Pacific, not 4. Just letting you know, unless something else happens. But it should be at the sort of regular afternoon show time. And to the trolls, thank you and fuck you. Just saying. I appreciate you being here. And I hope you grind your teeth in your sleep and I make you very angry. Because I'm so optimistic and cheery and I'm right all the time.
I know words. I have the best words. An anomalous, really an ominous.
Defied the seat of justice. It's defiled, right?
Our army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
Michigan gave us Motan.
We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen.
A lot of very bad things are happening in Nicaragua.
They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately.
And you know, when you say per capita, there's many per capitas. It's like per capita relative to what?
And I was, part of a family that was very well knit.
Action replays in magnified fortune. Climb over each other's face. You can climb right over their face. You don't have to wear masks. You don't have to do anything.
To be Corona means Italy.
Winston Churchill stood on the rooftops in London, very calm, making speeches. Winston Churchill.
When they gaze upon Yosemites,
Free health care for illegal.
First Lady's doing great, and I would say fully recovered or just about fully recovered. But we are fully recovered, and I am.
and God bless the United States. Made a pivotal, really. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges.
Deliberately willful and with total premeditation.
Stink sanctuary. 10,000 known or suspected gang members.
What?
Wow.
Stop it!
When they gaze upon Yosemites, the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese.
Hit that like on your way out, folks. Thank you so much.